is, the orange cross is not your cross.
That raised on the
If you're on
turf
the
was
big
like...
one, that's your cross. Rebels starting seat number 2.
We're not just America's card room, we're the world's card room. A place where everyone comes together to play the game we all love. We are all unique, all competitive, and all striving to be the best. But at the end of the day, through thick and thin, we are all in together.
From the Lodge Poker Club in beautiful Round Rock, Texas, welcome to Poker Night at the Lodge. My name is Rick Epstein, along with my partner tonight, Mike the Skull Reisman. Mike, are you ready for some live stream 5-5 Uncapped?
Oh, absolutely, Rick. Merry Christmas. The holidays never end here at the Lodge. 5-5, our 22nd broadcast here. Our players are getting situated here at the table. We've got some new players to the stream, some old players to the stream, but definitely we're going to have lots and lots of action, entertainment, and excitement tonight here at the Lodge.
And, you know, we had a lot of fun with this last week. We got some players that have really called you and blew up your phone and your email, wanting to get a part of it. And we'll get a hold of some new players. We're going to see some old familiar faces and some new players who really want to get in on this action. We'll be doing a bomb pot every 30 minutes or so, which will be fun as always.
Yeah, single board bomb pots, hold'em bomb pots. I know last week we had our Art of Poker live stream, so we're back to our 5-5. We're going to always be mixing it up here on Saturdays, usually the 5-5 cash, but sometimes some of the Lodge feature tournaments as well. But last time we did our 5-5 game, we did the Omaha single boards. I know it was a little bit hard on the card readers. So tonight we're going to experiment with the single board hold'em bomb pots every orbit. So when the button matches up with the bomb pot button, we will be doing the bomb pot then. Otherwise, it's just straight 5-5 no limit hold'em. And we can start going through our players here in a little bit if you'd like, Rick.
Yeah, we're just, as the players are shuffling in, we're getting chip counts, and, you know, we got in seat 1 with his back towards us. There we go, with the hood and the sunglasses and the mask.
We're going to be calling him Apache.
Apache tonight.
Yes.
And
seat 2 is going to be Ken L. I know you've seen Ken L on some other streams around town, but he is a Lodge regular, and he's been asking me to get in on the action, and we oblige. So Ken's always friendly at the table, likes to buy in big. Hopefully he splashes around a little bit. Seat 3, I believe, will be Cy.
Yes.
Who's been around every one of our streams, and he's a fan favorite as well. Seat 4, a new player, Dennis.
Yes.
He last time we had the stream, I believe he was out of the country, but he's also a Lodge regular, and He's been asking for larger games, so we're excited to have him in the mix. Seat 5, I believe, is going to be Big Tony. I think it's Tony. He's been around on some of our other streams as well. Seat 6, who's going to be seat 6? I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I think that may be Big Tony with the big beard and.
Yeah, so that might be confused about seat 5. Well, seat 7 and 8 is Sasha and Sammy. Those are some new players to the stream. I know Sammy's from out of town, and Sasha plays, I believe, at some other clubs around town, but we're happy to have him here at the lodge mixing it up in our 5-5 game. And seat 9 will be the world famous and the beautiful Joan, who's back in the mix tonight in seat 9. So there's Rick there, right in the center, right there. Again, this broadcast is on a 30-minute delay. So we were just telling all the players the rules, getting the waivers situated and handled, and then cards will be in the air here shortly. We have to have our 30-minute delay just to keep the integrity of the game going. We're in the booth here live, and the game will be on that 30-minute delay, as I've mentioned here. So bear with us here. We wanted to start our broadcast here on time, 8 p.m. Central Time as always, but the cards will be in the air here shortly.
Well, the lodge is just bustling tonight. You know, we closed on Christmas Eve at 4 o'clock, then reopened yesterday at 4, and I heard the action was just hot and heavy. I guess people wanted to get out of their house and play a little cards. It was going. We had 3 tables at least through 5 a.m. today, and it's just been nonstop all day. We had a huge tournament playing tonight. It's still going on. I believe there's 20 people left in our Saturday huge event, the $150 buy-in. And then we just started another tournament. So we always have a couple tournaments every day, and then numerous cash tables. Right now we've got a Big O table you'll be able to see it on the screen right behind this table. We've got a couple 1-3 tables. I know, Mike, you were just got off a 1-3 table.
2-5, sir. So we actually started up at 2-5. So there's plenty of 1-2s, 1-3, 2-5, 5-5. Tournament going on. Lots going on here on the Saturday post-holidays. Everybody getting ready for the new year. But the action never stops at the lodge. Momentarily, as you mentioned, for about 24 hours. But besides that, we are always open, and we will spread anything that you want to play, tournament-wise, cash-wise. You know, we do it all here at the lodge. We're trying to stay safe as well. Everybody here is mandatory to wear their masks around town. We check temperatures when we walk in. We're trying to stay safe. I know poker's a little bit hard to be completely distant, but everyone's been safe here over the past couple months, so we're continuing on here. And we're ready for the cards to fly. Yeah,
I think we're just waiting on a couple things here. Number one, the deck. We've got a deal for a dealer's button. But let me go over the chip denomination. You'll see $5 chips are the red ones. The green ones are 25. The black ones are 100. And then you may see purple ones from time to time. They're 500. And if we get this game crazy, you might see some yellow ones. Those are $1,000. The other chips you'll see on the table are silver and pumpkin, and you might even see some gold. Those are tip chips. They are not a part of a player's stack that he can put in play. Those are only available to give the dealer a tip. You can either do it in cash or through those tip chips. So when a player goes all in, he just puts the chips that are available to be put in. He would not put his the extra chips that he has for tip chips in the pot as well. And Mike, I know we're just getting the players started, and we already have 18 people in the chat.
Yeah, and I'm continuing to spam people as we wait here, but we're going to have our cards in the air here in any moment here. Joe's in the box. We've given him the green light. He's going to spread the deck. And I believe we're going to be starting off with a bomb pot single board, no limit hold'em, and to get us started.
Yeah, Joe is one of our great supervisors. Actually, he's one of the higher supervisors, the card room manager. So he's as big as you can get, and he's going to deal at least until Frank can get here. Frank is one of our great dealers, and he'll be in there all night tonight as soon as he taps Joe out, probably after the first 30 minutes or so, because Frank's dealing right now on another table.
Yeah, Joe's been here probably a little under a year now. I don't know the exact amount, maybe 8 months, I believe, or so. But ever since
Yeah.
he's come to the room, it's been a great transition. And he's very friendly with the players, making everybody feel welcome.
Absolutely.
He holds his authority well, too. He's not afraid to make a judgment when needed, and that's what you want in a card room manager. Very friendly and firm and fair. So very happy to have Joe here and lucky to have him in the box. He's also dealt a lot of some Poker Go games with some of the top professionals in the world. He moved here from the Vegas area with his wife. So if you watch a lot of Poker Go on TV, you might stumble across some games where Joe's in the box dealing to some of the world's greatest.
Yeah, no doubt. He's dealt in some of the biggest casinos in the world, and a lot, like you said, as far as his rulings. One night you might feel like, hey, he made a ruling against you, but the next night he's going to make a ruling that you're going to say, yes, it's right. He's always fair, as you mentioned, and that's all you can be from a poker room supervisor, making those tough calls when you need it. The Lodge Poker Club is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We were closed for just 24 hours here recently, New Year's, Christmas Eve, to let our dealers and staff say hello to their families. We've got to do that every now and then. But we're going to be open for the long haul, and we're looking for big things. If you like big tournaments, February 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th, mark it down. We'll have 3 day ones, $500 buy-in, $75 door fee, and you're in the tournament. You can buy in for as many times as you want through the different day ones, and day 2 will be the 28th, Sunday the 28th. And guess how much we're having as the guarantee, Mike?
$200K, baby.
$200K is the minimum guarantee. We're gonna probably smash that and go way over. And there's the bomb pot button, and we're ready to get them cards in the air in about 5 seconds. And we're going to have our first bomb pot of the night, where each player will put in, I believe they're doing $15 or $20 bomb pots.
Button choice 15 to 25. So
okay,
it will differ depending on who makes the selection.
And Sammy is one of the new players. He's going to start off with the button, and players are putting their $15 in, and we're going to start the night out with a grand old bomb pot.
And if you're tuning in for the first time in the chat here, please like and subscribe to the channel, Lodge Poker Club live stream channel. We're trying to grow that, produce more content for you folks here. It's mainly going to be 5-5 on Saturday nights. Again, but sometimes we're going to have some of the Lodge of the featured tournaments as well, and we'll also kind of mix in some lower stakes games. But I believe that the 5-5 is some good entertainment. It's a nice mix. It's good action, and let's have some fun tonight.
Single board bomb pot, which sometimes in the Lodge we do double board, but tonight, because of the stream, single board, and it'll be Joan is under the gun there. We'll go straight to the flop, and here we go. Joan and Apache will check. Ken looks down at his cards, and we'll probably take 1 or 2 hands to get the card readers humming and going here. Looks like we've got a bet by Cy, never shy to put the money in. He looks like he bets 115.
Yeah, Cy coming out firing here.
Looks like we might have a raise here from one of the new players.
So Cy and Sasha have some history. They're familiar with each other playing around town. I'm not very familiar with Sasha's game, but I know he's one for action, so we're all going to learn together here. And
380 now.
Let's see what happens here. So bomb pots are interesting, folks. The dealer deals cards out to everybody who wants to ante up, and then there's no pre-flop betting. You only bet after the flop, and usually here at the Lodge we do double board bomb pots, so 2 boards, where your card plays for both boards. But with the technology and the card readers, it's a little bit difficult, so we like to do 1 single board here. But you're basically going in blind. It's hard to really pick up a read on your opponent. You just kind of have to kind of learn as you go on the flop, turn, and river.
Check on the turn, and now it's the river is the 10 of spades, and checked over to Sasha, and Sasha looks like he's going to make a little bet, and this pot is about $900 right now, and he's going to put 200 in and say, can you call me?
That's basically a call me type bet there, and it looks like Cy snapped it off. Sasha shows his cards. I believe it's like a 9-4 or an 8-4 type of hand here. 10-4, so he flops
Yeah, he
two
flopped
pair,
two pair.
top pair to Sai. So our first hand is a exciting bomb pot, 1.6K in the middle. And it's going to go Sasha's way. So maybe beginner's luck here. Welcome to the stream, Sasha. And he scoops in a nice one, and Sai takes a little dent early on. But it's early, so plenty of hands to be played here.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Sai is going to bounce back. He's been our big winner on the past couple of streams, so he's not shy, he's not afraid, he's not worried about losing the first hand of the night, and we're going to continue on.
Next hand of the night. This is the button will stay with Sammy. He'll play the bomb pot and get a chance to be the button on a regular pot before the button will move. So kind of when you're the bomb pot, you kind of the button twice in a row. So Sammy on the button will raise it up, looks like to 50. Joan will fold over to Apache. And Sammy is going to take down his first pot of the night. And now the button will move over to Joan, and we'll go on to the next one. I want to say hi to some of the people in the chat. I know George Castleberry, dying to get over here and play in one of these games. Maybe tonight, in reference to what happened in Nashville this morning, maybe we don't say it, call it a bomb pot tonight. That's too soon.
Fair enough.
But we'll go to the next one.
Luckily, no casualties in that event here, because you also, I'm sure, saw the video and pictures, and that was a large blast.
Just crazy. I just don't.
Pretty wild. So I'm sure the police and everybody's still investigating. Hopefully, we have some more information soon. But luckily, no casualties, and everybody is safe. Just some damage to some buildings there and some cars on fire. But everyone's okay here. So we got some action here brewing.
Sasha raises it up with his queen 10 to 40.
So I like Sasha's style here. He's not one to shy away from putting chips into the pot. So he's a nice addition to the stream. And we got a couple callers, so let's see what the flop brings here as Tony closes out the action pre-flop, and we're going to go four-way to a flop. Apache's going to, seat one is going to get us started here.
Ace 5-8, rainbow.
Our card readers are just warming up a little bit here, too, as we get the game started, so I'm sure it'll be a little bit better as we move forward.
There's another 5, and Big Tony has trips now. Big Tony in seat 6. And we'll see what he does. He's going to check and see if Sasha will try to take this down with some sort of bet. He's going to put 2 black chips in. That's 200. Joan will fold.
Definitely not going to get rid of Tony. No sir, no sirree. So this bet is not enough. But Sasha trying to rep that ace, not putting anybody on a 5. Looks like it folded around all the way back to Tony, to the man holding the 5. So, he's not folding. And he just smooth calls here, so Sasha might be putting him on an 8. River is a blank here, so I imagine Tony's going to check it over here, and Sasha quickly shuts down and checks behind, trying to feel out his new opponents. He's going to show Sasha the bad news, and the trip 5s is going to take it down. So a nice pot there for Tony.
And we'll go on to the next one. Rick Epstein, along with Mike the Skull Reisman, our executive producer tonight, is Dave Klaproth, and getting help inside the booth is Jermaine.
Yep, shout out to the whole crew, getting better each and every time we do a live broadcast here. So it's very encouraging stuff here as we power on. We got 30 people in the chat. We're trying to grow this viewership, and we're going to be continuing to produce some good content. So again, like and subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on future broadcasts. Usually Saturday night. Saturday night's the live night where we're going to be doing all the good stuff here moving forward. So next week's going to be a 5-5 cash game again. And then in 2 weeks from today, we're going to have our 1K sit and go, one table, winner take all.
The cage match.
The cage match. So yeah, that'll be
What did you call it? The Battle Royale?
The Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble.
There's usually only one You know, many enter and only one can survive. So there's no deals, no chops, no nothing along those lines. 1K, it's going to be 15-minute blind levels, and we're going to have one winner. And there's a lot of good players that have expressed interest. The table's full. I probably have enough interest for 2 tables, to be honest with you, but we're going to start with 1 table first, and then we'll see how that goes and maybe have a future broadcast with, you know, 2 or 3 tables. So we'll see how that goes.
Ace 7-6, and all of a sudden Cy with 7-3 of hearts vaults to the lead. And another ace, and that makes Cy's hand a little bit more attractive now with 2 pair.
After it goes check all the way around on the flop, I like Cy's lead here on the turn. He has the best hand. It's going to be hard for anybody to continue here. Kazim and Texas Apache are both pretty sticky. They don't like folding, but not much to work with here on this board.
Yeah, Kazim played last week on this. We'll go for about 3 hours. It's currently about 8:20 Austin time, so we'll go to about 11. See where it gets us. The river is an 8. No help for Apache. Cy's going to win this as long as he stays in. And he checks back over to Apache. See if he tries to take a stab at it. It's only a $200 pot.
I like the check there by Cy. And if you're Texas Apache and you call that turn and you still don't improve, you kind of have to fire out a bet here. Otherwise, why are you even calling the turn? And he's reaching for chips. Pretty hefty size bet. I like the sizing there, 275, really putting the pressure on Cy. So I do like the bet here by Apache. If it was a lot smaller, I imagine Cy would have just snapped him off. So Cy has something to think about here. Aces and 7s with the 8 kicker. So that's also something to consider. You know, he might be putting Apache on a 7, but even like 7-9 type of hand has Cy beat. But Cy's not going nowhere. Makes a good call there. Well done, Cy. King high for Texas Apache. No good, sir. Shipped chips over to seat 3. Well played there by Cy. Sets the trap there on the river. Probably a little surprised again by the sizing by Apache. Good bet by Apache, but not large enough, and Cy takes it down.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was great poker by both players there.
Yeah, but they're very familiar with each other, so Cy knows that, you know, Texas Apache would be, you know, putting chips in there just trying to steal the pot.
Lodge Poker Club has right now in the room, we've probably got 6 different cash tables. One about to open up right there in table 8, and that's the Big Mitt or Big O table. That's about ready to get started. And looks like we've got our first straddle of the night, a $20 straddle from Kazim, and Big Tony will fold. Sasha does.
Lots going on in the room tonight, Rick. We got multiple 1-2 games. We got a 1-3 table, a 2-5 no limit hold'em game. We got our 5-5, our Big O game, and of course the Big One re-entry tournament that has a prize pool close to, you know, $30,000. Somebody's going to be walking out of here with close to 8K first place money. So lots and lots and lots of action. Everybody here is spending their Christmas money that Santa brought them the other night, and they are spraying into the poker community here.
Kazim makes it 220, and yeah, it's Ken's getting some instructions on where his sensor is. You don't want to cover up your sensor.
Oh, come on, Ken. Come on, Ken. Ken likes putting his chips in a very particular fashion, as you can see. So he might be putting his chips, you know, more over his sensors. Ken's one for arts and crafts, you know, very creative. He's an artist. And he's just trying to get situated there in seat 2. But we love you, Ken. We're gonna nitpick a little. We're gonna needle a little bit, Ken, as you might watch this back when you get home. And it's all in love and good faith. We don't mean to, you know, take anything too seriously here in the booth. Rick and I are gonna, you know, have some fun with it. And Kazim there with a big raise. Kazim bought in a little heavier than he's bought in on previous streams, so he's coming here tonight to play. Bought in for about $4,500. Juices that one up to about 2 and change, but no takers. And we're gonna go on to the next hand.
Don't see Coach here tonight. He's been on the last couple live streams.
I put this stream together as I've done on the previous ones, and I'm trying to give new players priority. So if you're watching this for the first time, you see my email on the bottom of the screen, skullmikepoker@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I'll get you in the list. We had 2 late cancellations that I don't appreciate. So if you're, if I'm, I've been in contact with a couple players and then they cancel last minute, that's one way not to get invited back for future games.
Yes.
But
don't upset the skull.
We-
K99.
No.
Woof.
there we go. But we have a lot of interest and a lot of action players here in launch. We're able to fill in the 2 cancellations rather quickly. So we still got a good game, a good mix of players that you've seen before and some that are here on the stream for the first time. And that's what I want to try and have moving forward as a boat comes across the board and counterfeits Kazim's 7s.
Chop, chop, chop. Actually, it was Dennis who was going to win with the jack.
Right.
Kings and 9s with the jack.
So a pretty interesting hand there, but the board plays and everybody chops it up. But again, I like the mix of players that we have. We got some very action juicy players, some tighter players. It's should be a good game, and that's what we're hoping to see.
Joan all dressed up in red. You mentioned last week that
Joan's got her
she
red.
knitted you an Afghan. And I asked her about that. I said, Joan, that's very nice of you to do that.
Joan's got her red bag, her red jacket. She's got red earrings on. She's usually one to always match the, rep that same color because she's got her nails done. I mean, my goodness, Joan, she's looking hot tonight, Joan. That's what we like to see.
We'll go on to the next one.
My girlfriend Nina's watching. I know she'll approve. She's a fan of Joan as well, so she ain't gonna be mad at me if she hears this when I get home.
36 in the chat. Share this with a friend, please.
Yeah,
everybody share it. Let's try to get this up big time tonight.
Yeah, like, subscribe to the channel. Each and every time we broadcast it here, we get more and more viewers. That's what we love to see. Don't be afraid to jump into the chat, get involved, ask us a question. We're here for you.
Cy raises it up. Looks like 155. And he's got 3,700 behind him.
Yeah, Cy's got the ladies. Big Tony's got ace-jack. Could have like 3-bet there, but Alexa just flat size bet, so we're going to go heads up to a flop.
Jack,
This could be trouble for Tony.
Unfortunately, Tony hits top pair.
And Tony's going to lead out here. Pretty interesting, as you know, Cy was the pre-flop aggressor. And I think Cy can pretty easily now put Tony on a jack specifically, which is great for your hands of queens. There's no way he has like a jack 5, jack 9. Very unlikely. So it's either a jack or clubs that he's up against right now, and I'm pretty certain that Cy is comfortable with his queens.
3's not going to mean much to anybody.
You don't think Big Tony would do this with, flopping a set like 9s or 5s. You'd probably check that over. But he's going to fire again. Still believes in his ace-jack.
195.
I think if you're in Cy's shoes now's the time to, fire and a raise. But he's still, there you go.
He
so,
is.
well done there, Cy.
425.
Got to start building a pot here on the turn.
525.
So Tony quickly calls here, so we got a pot ballooning here. Nice juicy pot, close to 2K in the middle. 2 of spades blank on the river here. That's probably going to slow down Tony now after he gets raised on the turn. Probably check it over the Cy, and what sizing will Cy come with? I'd like to see something along the lines of over 1,000, maybe 1.2. And he just rips in his whole stack. So really going for the overbet here on the river. I think that's a little too high. I don't think this will get called by Tony. So I'm not sure I love the sizing here by Cy, as we see that Tony has...
He
does
calls!
So pardon me, Cy. Pardon me. My apologies, sir. You got the maximum value, and I am always one for maximum value, getting all you can out of your pots. And I didn't think Tony would make that call. But Cy elects to make that river bet very large. Makes it maybe seem a little bluffy, even though there weren't many draws out there. Maybe like a queen 10 that missed or something along those lines. But I didn't think that would happen the way it did. But, Cy goes for the maximum, puts Tony at risk for all of his chips. And Tony makes the call, and he's going to need a rebuy here rather quickly. So Cy off to a hot start. Well played, and he's just buying in some chips here, so obviously all that money will go to Cy, but I believe Joe is just making giving Tony some chips behind just to get him started here. But obviously that pot was very large. Probably, how big was that pot? Over 5K. And
oh yeah, well over 5K.
Cy's off to a hot start for seat 3.
Yeah, because, I mean,
So he's buying in, and then he's going to give that cash over to Cy, and Cy will be getting a color up, probably getting some more black chips. So Joe taking a little bit of a shortcut here, but obviously ace-jack no good to the pocket queens of Cy. Money behind, placard goes over there to C3, and Joe is going to be leaving the box. Probably Frank will be tapped in and taking over from here. Hello, Frank. Welcome to the jungle.
yeah, Frank, don't change the deck. Nope.
Who
We
knows
only have one RFID deck on the table right now. The other deck won't read, and we need them to read on the sensors.
Yeah, I think we're going to be okay. But wow, Joe goes out with a bang. And it's not what Tony wanted to see, but pretty surprising there. Pretty surprising there that got called. I thought it was too much.
I mean, he had top pair, top kicker. But you were right. It was pretty obvious to Cy that Tony had a jack from how it was bet early on.
And the way that board ran out, it was a very good board there for queens. And Cy raised pretty large pre. So, queens, kings, and aces were all in his range. So Tony was just hoping that maybe he was doing that with maybe a king-jack type of hand. Tony didn't have much beat, really, to call off all his chips there, but believed in his jack, and unfortunate for him, it just wasn't good enough. We're on to the next here.
Dennis raises it up 25 and got 4 callers to a flop of 5-5-6. And Kazim, Kazim hits trips.
Low trips.
And he's going to...
Kazim's the one to take his time. He's on the button. Very unlikely that you can have a 5-2 here on the button.
Kazim loves the fact that somebody bet into him. He's got the trips as Dennis made it 125. Kazim on the button is just going to call.
No one's putting, Kazim on a 5 deuce. They might put him on a 5. Kazim's a little worried potentially about his 2 kicker. But once the field thins down to 2 and you're up against a pre-flop aggressor, you're not too worried about your kicker anymore now that your head's up versus Dennis. You have, aces, kings, queens beat. You're losing the pocket jacks now, but I don't think you're really worried. Not for 275. You're going to continue on.
Dennis now with a heart draw. Here's the river. Another jack. It's not going to help as Kazim boated up.
So Dennis has some showdown with his ace high now. Is he going to like to fire another bullet here on the river? It looks like he will. And he's going to get snapped off by Kazim. So props to Dennis there for going up. Kazim will not be folding here. He's taking his time. I thought he was going to get snapped off. Props to Dennis for emptying the clip here, going for 3 straight bullets. But this is, unfortunately for him, not going to get through as Kazim makes the call.
Calls.
Ace high, no good. 5's full of jacks, good, and C5. And Kazim's going to scoop a nice one.
And Dennis
is a good player, though. Dennis is not afraid to mix it up. Dennis has he's got a very good table image, table presence. He's a hard guy to read, and he's not afraid. So when you add all that up, it equals a good, solid poker player. So he'll look to rebound, takes a little hit. It's the first time on the cash stream. I believe he's played some of our previous tournament streams, but he's been asking me to play past couple weeks, and we're happy to get him in the mix. And he's gonna bounce back and try and recoup some of those losses there.
Everybody here at the lodge wears a mask, gets their temperature checked before they are allowed in to the playing area. So we do our best. We sanitize each table. We've got hand sanitizer everywhere. Try to keep it as clean as possible. Do our best to keep it as safe as possible. Sammy says,
chat.
I'm playing. Seat 8, big bluff coming.
There we go.
Just so you know, everybody, this is on a 30-minute delay. So the hands that we're seeing right now were played 30 minutes ago. No chance for anybody to watch our stream and see it. Now we've got another bomb pot. This time it's a $25 bomb pot as it goes over to Sasha. We'll see who all plays this one.
Yeah, Sammy's from out of town, so we're happy to get him in the mix here. He's a late addition. He was one of our fillers on the cancellation, but we got him in the mix. Hopefully spread this around to your friends and family back east, and we hope you continue to watch as when you get home and leave the Austin area, you continue on here at Poker Night at the Lodge and the Lodge Poker Club live stream.
Yeah, we've been doing this a few months now. We've got, I think we just put our 21st episode of our recorded episodes, our edited episodes, and we've done, what, 4, 5, or 6 live streams so far. So we're putting a lot of content out there, Michael the Skull Reisman.
Yep, and that's what we're here to do.
Ace 10-9 on the flop. We go straight to the flop, and Sasha is going to make the bet. Put 100 out there. Actually, no, that was Ken.
Wow. We have Ken L. Ken L is usually not one to indulge in the bomb pot world. And boom, spikes 2 pair. And he's going to go heads up with Joan. Joan's going to check in the dark. And I don't think that's going to scare Ken. Maybe it
Check.
will.
Oh, and Joan
Looks like Joan
gets there.
hits the river there after Ken slows down. Checks it over. Check, 2 pair, no good, Ken. Trips for Joan. So maybe, that's probably going to be, if I had to guess, and I am a betting man, Rick, if I had to guess, that will be Ken's final bomb pot tonight. Side bet?
No, hey, you've played with him a lot longer than me.
Come on. $10 side bet.
I would
If he
imagine
plays any other bomb pot, you win for the rest of the stream.
he doesn't like getting beat on the river with trips.
Anybody in the chat want to take me up on this offer? If I know you, maybe George, maybe if Phil's in the chat, if anybody's in the chat, I don't think Ken will be playing another bomb pot the rest of the night. If he plays another bomb pot, then you win, and I will Venmo you the money. I'm trying to get some action here. Any takers out there in the world? Anybody? Going once.
5-5 uncapped here.
Wow.
Live at Poker Night at the Lodge.
No action. Boo, boo, boo all you people. And
Kazim raises it up to $50.
Sammy with a suited queen, 10. Small blind.
Flop comes 9-8-3, 2 hearts, and Kazim with 4 hearts now.
Very good flop there for Kazim. Overs and a gutty for Sammy. And Kazim quickly fires out an overbet to the flop, 150 to go. So spicy line here, making it pretty expensive for a gutty to continue, and Sammy sends his cards into the muck. And folks, if you're watching at home and you see Sammy's hands, that we're not on a plane, we're not on a boat. The boat is not sinking, the plane is not going down. Sammy is just in his position there to continue on and praying for good cards there. But looks, he's in the safety position there with his hands over his chest. But Frank's going to shuffle him up. Merry Christmas to all. Little Christmas edition here of the Lodge Poker Show, Lodge Poker Club live stream. Happy Hanukkah. I know Hanukkah's over. Kwanzaa, you celebrate that. Whatever you celebrate, we treat everybody equal here. And we appreciate you all tuning in.
Yeah, we probably have every religion in the world represented here at the Lodge on any given night, and we all seem to get along, so it can be done.
Yes.
And we got a call, $5 goes around 5 ways, and ace 10-3 with 2 clubs. Nobody hits anything, much of anything, except Joan, I guess, has a 3, as Sammy has a 3, bottom pair. Joan will go out, and after Sammy makes a bet on the button of 100.
Large bet, 125, so shows his 3. So Sammy's here to mix it up and entertain. So that's what we'd like to see. Let's see if some of the other players pick up of his antics here and his playing, style. Time will tell.
Go to the next hand. Looks like Joan is on the button. Apache in the small blind. Ken in the big blind. And we've got a straddle of 20 over to Big Tony. Big Tony still reeling from his getting stacked
Ace
by,
Jack versus Queen.
by Cy.
Cy's the one in the straddle here too, so that raise might be looking like, you know, a revenge type of raise here where he might be targeting Cy, try and get some of his money back. We will see. Joan with a Queen Jack on the button flats Tony's raise. Cy with a 4-2 can, you know, sneak up behind somebody sometimes with a 4-2, but it's not suited. And he's going to respect Tony's raise and Joan's flat, so we're going to go heads up to a flop.
10-10-8 with 2 spades. Joan with a spade in her hand. There's a queen. That's going to hurt some people right there. Both players now with 2 pair. Tony with the big ace, though, as the kicker.
Joan won't be folding now. So whatever Tony bets here on the river, Joan will call. Pretty tough spot here for Joan. Pot at 530 here.
There's a 3.
Let's see what Tony comes with. I'd like it along the lines of 300. Let's see what kind of sizing he just goes just a little bit smaller, so this is going to get snapped off by Joan. He could have gone higher.
It's going to be tough for her to fold, and she's going to make the call.
Folding. She makes the quick call there. And 170. I would have liked it to be a little bit higher. Joan shows that her queen is no good. So 10s and queens with the ace kicker good enough for Tony. So Tony looking to rebuild the great wall of Tony here. He is stacking some chips back up.
Good way to start after you get stacked early in the session. You know, it's you can't win it all back sometimes in one shot. You got to do it a little at a time. And as we talked about before in these episodes, when a player gets stacked early, how it might change their game and the way they play.
Yeah, and, you know, it's different for every player. So that might affect a lot of players. You know, some players might be able to, you know, brush that off rather quickly. It might tilt other players. They might be thinking about it, you know, an hour and a half or so down the road. And the best players are able just to brush it off and continue to focus on the hand that they're currently in, because that's the only one that matters after you've lost the hand, is the next hand, not the previous hand. You always got to be looking forward, whether in life or in poker. So that's life lessons with Skull Mike here.
Nostra Skull.
There we go.
50 by Sammy. Joan makes the call. Apache comes along for the ride. Over to Cy, who's going to kick it up a notch. Makes it 230. And over to Kazim. Kazim, who's got stacks and stacks of chips close to the betting line. We do have a hard betting line. If any chips go over that line, they're in the pot, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And back over to Sammy. Sammy, the initial raiser, folds. Joan with ace-jack.
So very interesting here. Cy with the queens, and again, the ace-jack of the hand of the villain in Cy's mind. So let's see if he can put a hurting on ace-jack for a second time with the holding of queens. Let's all pray for Joan. A moment of silence for Joan that she does not flop a jack here. Jack high flop, because that would be big trouble for her. But Apache thinking about what he wants to do on the button in position, he's just going to smooth call. So we're going to go 3-way to a flop. And Cy has his opponents in bad shape. He's just going to fade an ace.
He doesn't want to see an ace or a king. That'll slow down the action here. There's the flop. There's the king. That's probably going to slow down a lot of things right now. King, 7 deuce, 2 spades.
We'll see. I suspect here that, yeah, I thought Cy might see bet a little bit. Let's see what Apache does here if he wants to put on the heat right now. Checks all the way around to him. I think he can eliminate a king from Joan's range. He might be a little alarmed about Cy. Cy eyeing him like a hawk, and Apache's going to elect to put in a bet here and try and rep a king. On the smaller side, I would have liked to seen him go a little higher.
Looks like Apache's going to make it 200, and
I think
Cy
200's too low there.
quickly calls. Joan chip stack falls, but she's going to fold.
Yeah, she's going to fold after Cy makes that call. I don't imagine her continuing on. She's one for her feelings, and again, not feeling it. She's in bad shape here. Makes the fold. Now imagine Cy's going to pump the brakes here again.
There's another spade.
Neither player holding a spade in their hand. But that's not really what Sai wanted to see. So maybe if his opponent was, bluffing with the spade draw, that gets there. Now, if you're in Apache's shoes and you're firing out a bet, you can no longer be firing out a bet to really rep the king. You're more repping along the lines of a flush. You want your story to always make sense. Pre-flop, flop, turn, and river. Let's see if he's got another barrel in him. We've seen him fire off a barrel against Sai, and it didn't get through. So electing to bluff at it again, and size is up here. I like
500.
I prefer, this is okay.
It's almost half of his stack, at least a third of his stack. It's going to leave enough for a pot size, or
It's a good
bet on the river.
It's a good bet. You have your opponent thinking about it. You can see Sai's really trying to, what does this man have? And he folds the best hand there. So
nice poker by
well played
Apache.
there by Apache. Sai's a little bit wondering. He's going to mark that down, and he'll be, watching his. We got the stream going on in the room here on a 30-minute delay, so he's going to be keeping his eye on the TVs in the room here, remembering that hand to see, what did he have here? Did I have the best hand? Did I fold the winner? And time will tell, and Sai's going to get the bad news that Apache just had the ace high there, so well played there, seat 1.
44 in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We always like to hear that. Where are you watching us from?
George is watching from his couch down the road. Good job, George. I hope it's a nice, comfy couch. I'm sure he's going to have a smart-ass remark. It's a wooden chair, a rocker.
George goes way back in the Austin poker scene. I have known him for many, many years.
50 years. We know Fred Flintstone. We know.
Austin poker scene's kind of fun to talk about. Those who have been around in all the metamorphoses of how this is.
Have you seen Mr. Lee in a while?
I have not.
I've not seen Mr. Lee in a while, so it's always a little alarming.
Yes.
After a while.
Ace 9-8. Joan flops 2 pair. Wow, Joan with only 285 behind. She says, "I'm going to put it all in here."
I would have rather seen her, trap a little bit here. Try and get some of her other opponents to put some chips in. No other player holding an ace. This bet looks rather strong, and I don't think she's going to get the action that she's craving here. And everybody quickly folds. So, if Joan just kind of likes to slow play the top 2 there, I think she gets paid off. But satisfied with what's in the middle.
Hey, she'll take it. After getting touched up the last couple hands,
I'm one for always getting the maximum, right? So we saw Sai get the maximum with his queens versus the ace-jack there, and I think Joan left a little bit of an opportunity out there, but that's okay.
So the Lodge Poker Club, you can see us on Poker Atlas or go to our website to see all the great action that's going on a daily basis. Literally at least 2 tournaments each and every day. And it's just crazy how many tournaments and cash games we get. We have a 19 table room, and it gets crazy in here sometimes, and we love it. More people playing the cash games and the tournament, whatever your flavor is. Come on, give us a chance for your action. I think you'll be happy because we've got quality dealers. It's very friendly in here. And the action is fantastic. And what more can you ask for if you're a poker player? To have good dealers, friendliness, and good action.
100%.
So we'll go to the flop. Jack 5-8, 2 diamonds. And looks like we've got a gut shot for Sai.
Sai's still in the lead, though.
Not much else for anybody else. Joan with the big slick.
This guy's big slick. Joan did not elect to raise pre. She rarely does elect to raise pre, so...
Sai with the gut shot is going to bet 85. Joan's going to fold.
Joan, and 9 high takes it down. So some interesting stuff here brewing here at the table. We've seen a lot of weaker hands being able to bluff off the stronger hands of their opponents. So, aggression pays off. You don't always have to have it in the game of poker. If you're the one putting chips into the middle and your opponents are the ones folding their cards, sometimes the winners, you, ma'am, sir, child, whoever you are awarded the pot by your strong play there. Power poker being played here.
Looks like Sasha put the $10 straddle on. Sammy will fold. Joan will look at her cards. 5-4 offsuit. She's going to say, I'm going to come along for $10. What a bargain. Apache looks down at King 10 offsuit.
5-5 uncapped poker here at the lodge. If you are watching this game and you are saying, I can play with these guys, come on down. Shoot me an email at the bottom, skullmikepoker@gmail.com. I'm giving priority to new players. So don't be afraid. Shoot me an email. I will respond quickly, and I will get you in a game soon in the upcoming weeks. So let me know.
Ken makes it 70 and gets 3 callers so far. And Apache says, well, I can be the 5th, Huckleberry. And he'll make the call. So actually, we've got 6 players who just put $70 in. We've got a great skillet right here, $430. We see a flop of King 10-8.
So Ken smashes that, and as is Texas Apache here. So we're going to definitely have some action. They have the same hand. We'll see if one of these players can bluff off the other. It's going to be pretty tough when you smash top 2 on a rainbow board.
Dennis with a gut shot.
Checks around to Apache here, and we know that Ken was the aggressor pre, but Apache will not check it over to him. He's going to lead out, and it looks like 150. What is this bet? 175. Will Ken smooth call or raise now?
Looks to be raise.
Looks to be grabbing some black chips, so he is signaling of the raise. So Ken's the only one here that has a chance, maybe with backdoor diamonds. Texas Apache will be drawing towards a chop if this goes to showdown. No way for him to win at showdown other than by chopping. So let's see if, we know Apache will not be going anywhere.
Both players flop top 2.
Very hard for, Ken to be holding kings or 10s in his hand while Apache is holding those cards. So maybe worried a little bit about 8s. Unlikely. Apache's not one to fold very often. He's a believer in his cards, and rightfully so when you're holding top 2. So he's going to take his time here. He's probably just going to smooth call this 575, and I imagine the chips will probably get in here on the turn. But a juicy card on the turn would be a diamond. Any diamond would be spicy here, and then really giving Apache a sweat as we brace for a river. But let's see what the turn brings. One thing at a time. Frank's going to get the pot right, rips the turn, and it is
a diamond.
So just what the doctor ordered for everybody watching at home and us in the booth. Checks it over. Ken's hand improves. King 10.
He's on a free roll right now.
He's free rolling, absolutely, and he is going to size up. Ken likes to bet big. I imagine this is going to be around at least 1,000. It's very close to 1,000.
Looks like 1025 is the bet.
1025 here, and I think Apache is going to wait no longer. I think we're going to have. I think we're going to be getting it in right now.
He's got about 2.5 behind, so.
I don't know. I think this gets in right now. Nobody folds. I know if he's got it, he's got it. If he's got pocket 8s or just one combo of kings and 10s, if you're calling 1,000, you're basically committing your whole stack right now. There's no way you're folding. I think it's just time to get it in right now. Apache might elect just to smooth call this 1,000 and then call off the river bet, but. Let's see what the Apache decides to do.
Both players with top 2. He makes the call.
Just makes the call, so, basically committing his whole stack. There's no way you can fold now on the river after committing this much of your stack. And is the river a diamond? It is not. So we're going to Chop Town as we suspected. We had the spicy turn card, but the river goes check, check. King 10, so let's chop it up. Boo.
And Ken saying, I had the free roll there.
Phil Nathan joins us in the chat. A little late there, brother. You missed a quick double up by your boy Cy. He had pocket queens versus an ace jack, and it was a jack high flop. So Cy off to a hot start. Welcome. Merry Christmas to you, sir. Almost had a juicy one there with Ken and the Apache, but it goes chop chop.
There you see our chip stacks. Cy with 6,300, Kazim 56, Ken L about $5,000, Texas Apache 3,100, VPIP voluntary put in pot. Kazim way in the lead there, 70%. Pre-flop raise. There's the stats on those. We thank Dave Klaproth and Jermaine for all the stats and the camera work and everything. Aggression frequency, there you go. Big Tony way in the lead in that state, and went to Showdown. 5-5 uncapped. You see Cy on that big win that he had over Big Tony, up over 2,300, and we just got started here, folks. We're about an hour in to our 3-hour live stream. It's about 8:57 Austin time. Thank you for joining us here on Poker Night at the Lodge live stream, 5-5 uncapped. Cy looks down at 6-9 of hearts, and he makes the bet. 25, quick call from Dennis, and
Dennis
Sasha
has,
comes along.
Ace-6 of diamonds, so I think we said he folded here, but Dennis is holding ace-6 of diamonds. Keep that in mind. Nobody really has a piece of that, although hearts get there now for Cy, along with the gut shot. So Cy likes that turn, doesn't get there on the river. Looks like ace high, or a pair of threes is going to be the winner here if it goes to Showdown.
Dennis throws over his ace-6.
Threes are good, so it's going to go Sasha's way.
We'll go on to the next one. So the big one coming down the pike in February 25th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. 3-day ones will all start on Thursday, I believe at 4 o'clock, Friday at 5 o'clock, and then Saturday at noon we'll have the day one starts, and then Sunday. Somebody's going to walk out of here with a bunch of money, because we're guaranteeing, get this folks, $200,000 prize pool. All it takes is $500 buy-in, $75 club access fee, and you're in that tournament. Enter as much as you want, as long as we have room for you in the day ones, and you too can walk away with a hunk of money. I'm guesstimating. My guesstimate is first place is going to be over $60,000. I'm just taking a guess there, folks, but it's going to be real close to that. So it looks like Joan is going to go all in here with Queen 9 suited on a flop of 9-10 Jack. She's got an open ender and a bottom pair.
Yep, so we're bombing away right now.
She goes all in for her 215. Call by Cy. And Joan is going to show Cy what she has. No more action.
9 is good. So Cy drawing needs an ace. It's going to be a chop. Queen no good.
Joan is going to take this bomb pot down.
So Cy gives Joan a little action there, and it is well received by the 9 seed. We're going to have a full double up for Joan. So Joan on the comeback trail, bonding for about 700. And she's on her way back to close to an even stack, looking to take names. See our chip counts here. Cy about 6K now. Joan about 655, and so on.
Saturday night, the day after Christmas, the 26th of December, 2020. Never wanted to see a year go into 2021 more than I do this year. It's been one hell of a year for everybody. And hopefully 2021 will bring everything back to some normalcy. See, they've already given the vaccine to 1 million people already as of yesterday, so hopefully that can keep moving. So Big Tony will call Dennis's raise up to 40, as does Joan, and Apache will come along. So we'll go 4 waves to the flop. Joan with pocket 7s, Dennis with pocket 9s, Big Tony with pocket 10s, and don't know what Apache has. So a lot of pocket pairs here. How about 7, 9, 10, set over set over set? How sweet would that be?
That would be pretty sick and filthy. That happened to me about 2 months ago. I flopped middle set. I was somehow, some way able to get away. But that rarely ever happens.
Joan's going to get away from his. Don't know what Apache has. It's Apache, 3-bet to 180. There's King 5, 6. And it's on Apache, who's got about 3,000 behind. Pot is already at 585. He'll make the check. Dennis will check. And Big Tony now in the lead. At least we can see from, we don't see Apache's cards yet.
Once it kind of checks around here, I believe the 10s are good.
There's a 4.
10 should still be in the lead here. Interesting to see what Dennis does if it gets checked to him. Will he believe in his 9s and not give any player credit for a king? Nice check back there by Tony. 9's pretty disguised, or 10's pretty disguised on the button. Looks like Apache's putting out some chips after nobody stabbed at that on the flop. Pretty standard play when you're kind of first to act after it checks through on the flop. You usually see that person leading out, becoming the new aggressor. He's going to bet 275.
Quick call from Dennis with the 9s, and looks like Big Tony's going to go out with the best hand.
After Dennis makes that call, puts, Tony in a tough spot with his 10s.
There's a 6 on the river. Now Dennis with 9s and 6s over to Apache. Will he take a third bullet?
Apache has a wide range. It's hard to put him on a 6 in earlier position, but after it checks through on the flop and then he leads out, it's possible he could be holding a 6 in his hand. I don't imagine Dennis folding. It'd have to be super high from Apache for Dennis to throw away his hand. So after Dennis makes that call on the turn, I suspect that Dennis will be calling this river bet, but he's reaching for, it looks like 600 or 700, 625. What did we come with here? 625 or 650. So tough spot for Dennis as we see, running out of chips almost, but he has the chips to be like he's calling it out. And I think Dennis is going to make this call, and he does. Are his 9s good? Ace Queen no good, Apache, and the 9s are good. So a good call there by Dennis.
And Big Tony is a little upset with himself because he's now sees pocket 9s won. The Big Tony had pocket 10s.
100%. So yeah, if Tony would have stuck on in there, he would have won that pot. But again, once you have 2 players, an aggressor and a caller, those 10s kind of shrivel up, especially when there's a king-high board and also possible straight opportunities out there. So tough spot for Tony. He's been a little banged up tonight after getting sacked off by Cy. Elects to play it a little bit safe with his 10s and throws away the winner. But a good call there by Dennis. So Dennis took a little hit to his stack early on, and now he is rebounding nicely as well. So a good call there by Dennis. But Apache has heart. Ace high there, firing it out, multiple streets there, turn and river, trying to tell a story. But Dennis sniffs it out. And now Cy wakes up with pocket 6s here, Kazim with pocket 3s. And we are going to have a new hand here getting started. So let's see some 6s and 3s on this flop and get really wild.
9, 7, 10. Big Tony with the Open ender.
Joan with top pair.
Big Tony will make it 45. Joan will say, I'm going to call that with my top pair.
As she should. See what Cy does. Maybe like he's not going to go after that gut shot on the low end.
Frank will give us a turn. There's another 7.
Let's see if Tony fires it off again. After he gets called off, he does not. It goes check, check. Will Tony try and bluff off Joan now that he only has ace high? Joan's one tough cookie to bluff off, and that's not going to be enough. 75, not enough for her to fold. And a good call there by Joan with her 2 pairs, 10s and 7s.
Joan doesn't like to be pushed around.
No,
you mentioned that last week.
100%. Sometimes you just got to wave the white flag there. When Joan's calling, she definitely has a piece of something. So if she calls you on the turn there, it's going to be tough for her to go away there on the river. 45 people in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on any future telecasts that we have coming up here in the future. Lots in the pipeline, lots and lots and lots in the pipeline. So be on the lookout for that Saturday nights. Lodge Poker Club live stream, the place to be.
And we want to say a special thank you to America's Card Room for being our title sponsor. 75 is raised up from Sasha. Hey, if you play online, give America's Card Room a chance for your action. If you play live,
so
we hope you call Austin, the Lodge, your home.
Sasha, remember, it was in the chat earlier on saying, watch out for this big bluff that I'm going to, fire out here. So, I'm sorry, that was Sammy. That wasn't
Sasha. That was
My
Sammy.
apologies. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So, but Sasha with a 6-3, just 6 high. Both players whiff, so ace high good. Doesn't elect a C-bet there. Has a gut shot. But let's see if Apache now elects to. Does not. Ace high still in the lead.
We'll go to the river. There's another 9, so ace will win. 2 pair with an ace, Texas Apache.
A little bit of a strange line there by Sasha, raising it up to 75 and then completely shutting down.
Looks like 150 from Texas Apache.
6 high is tough to win, and especially if you don't throw any chips in the pot on any street. So I would like to see Sasha fire out a C-bet there, put the heat on an ace-high type of hand, and maybe even fire out another bet there on the turn. Elects to go check, 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 and then ace-high, the best hand, takes it down on the river. Anywho, we roll on here at the Lodge. As you see in the background, the Lodge is busy tonight. 1-2 games, 1-3 games, 2-5 games, 5-5 Big O.
Big O in the house.
We also have our Big 1 re-entry tournament going on that should be approaching a final table pretty shortly. So going to be some pretty big winners tonight here at the Lodge in Round Rock.
How many different names is Big O? You got Mitt, Big Mitt, Congress, Big O, 5-card Omaha High-Low. I mean, it's one game, but known by a million different names.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty strange.
I don't understand Congress. Only in Oklahoma do they call it Congress. When I grew up, it was Big Mitt or Mitt. That's what we called it. Now it's Big O, which is fine. But Congress? Where the heck did that come from? 5-7-9 on the flop.
Big Tony out in front.
Don't know what Sasha has. Sasha has a warrior in the shape of a Tabasco sauce bottle. Hope it doesn't open. The RFID chip inside the cards may explode. We're going to have 2 players, Sasha and Big Tony. There's a 5 of hearts on the turn. And Big Tony will continue his story. Makes it 165 to Sasha. Don't know what Sasha has, but he's thinking about it. Gives a little side glance to Big Tony. And it's going to fold it. And Big Tony will give a little tip to Frank. Frank the dealer. Great guy. Took a trip with his family recently. Got all the way to the airport. Found out that
Trip was canceled.
no, the kids needed passports to go to Mexico. and it was a disaster. His wife ended up going anyways.
I did not know about that story.
Yeah. Mexico, you used to not have to have a passport to go. Not anymore. Not in quite some time. Now you need a passport. There's a bet from Big Tony. Sasha will make the call. Joan will fold over to Apache now. Bet is 80. Apache will fold. Ken L looks down at ace-8 offsuit. He'll fold, as does Cy. Dennis will fold. Kazim will fold. Now it's back to Big Tony. These two players just played a hand together. Now they're going to play another one heads up. Big Tony and Sasha. 9-7 versus ace-10 offsuit. There's an ace. Ace-5 deuce. Rainbow.
So the rematch here now favors Sasha. Big Tony completely whiffs. Check on the flop. So Sasha, creating here a mini trap here. Doesn't love the 4 of spades on the river, on the turn, my apologies. Checks again, so we're going to take river here, queen of spades. So let's see if Sasha goes for a little bit of value here on the river. It looks like Tony's going to lead out. Says if you don't want to bet at this pot, I will, but it's not going to be enough. And the ace is going to be good.
Sasha will take it down. And we'll go on to the next hand. Just crossed about 9:15 Austin time. We'll go to about 11 o'clock tonight. So you still got another hour and 45 minutes to call your friends and share this link. We've got 47 in the chat tonight. I'd love to get that to 100 tonight. That would be fun.
Yes, it would. Like and subscribe. Spam this out for us. We'd appreciate it. Hard to do while we're in our booth commentating ourselves.
Joan will come along for 15, as does Apache. Over to Ken L. Ken L will make the call. Cy and Dennis will say goodbye. And we'll go 5 players to the flop. Frank will give us a flop of 3-3 deuce.
No 3 for anybody here.
2 hearts, though, and Kazim.
He's got a draw and a dream. Ace high still in the lead.
There's a 9.
Nobody has a 9.
Still no players with a pair. And there's the jack.
So Kazim gets there. Not with the hearts, but with the jack. Fires out a little value bet of 15 bucks, but nobody's got a piece. Everybody's scared to put money in the pot or make a play, and Kazim's going to take down a small one. So a little quiet the past couple of hands here. We got off to a hot start on the hand with Cy and Tony. Look at the players there, and C2 and 3. It looks like they're looking at the monitor that plays the game on a 30-minute delay. So Cy might be finding out now that Apache bluffed him with the ace high when he folded his queens.
That's always fun, finding out.
And now they seem to be talking to each other. Cy's talking to Apache, so that's exactly what's going on. So it'll be interesting to see, if Cy tries to fire off a bluff towards Apache's ways, because, you get a little steamed up once you see that on the monitor. You see that you made an incorrect laydown there on a nice little size pot. So we'll see how Cy rebounds as Texas Apache gets up from the table, maybe taking a little victory lap there. Time will tell.
King, Jack, deuce, 2 spades. Big Tony hits top pair. And Joan has a flush draw. She has 4 spades. She's looking for another one. We'll make the call. Over to Kazim, and he'll fold. So it's Big Tony against Joan right now. Heads up.
Joan looking for a spade.
Deuce of clubs. It was black, but just a deuce.
Check. That one might be, nope. That's
another deuce. So a boat for Big Tony. And Joan says, how did I miss that flush?
Tony doesn't even fire out a bet there on the river. Would have liked to seen him fire something out there, maybe target a smaller boat that Joe might be holding. Probably just put Joan on a king, said, oh, we're chopping, let's not stop wasting everybody's time. But Joan was on that flush draw. Checks it down, check, check, and the boat of Tony is good. So we're going to go on to the next hand here. As you see in the background, Lodge busy again on a Saturday night, right after Christmas. Lots and lots of action, as we've already mentioned here. Lots of games going on, different limits, different styles, tournament poker, cash game poker, 2-card poker, 5-card poker. Come on down and join us. And right there on the back left, as you see in our, that is the big one re-entry final table going on at the moment. So big money going on over there in the top left.
Yeah, I see our friend Shino's still in there. She's quite the player. Deuce, 3, 9, 2 hearts. Sasha flops top pair. There's the king of hearts. So Sasha with the 9 of hearts has second pair, another king on the river. Looks like Sasha will win that pot. We'll go on to the next one.
So I want to see some premium holdings here. See a couple coolers, but you got to be patient.
What is your most memorable, speaking of Christmas and Hanukkah, most memorable gift that you received as a kid? What was your most memorable gift you received as a kid that you'll always remember?
It's tough. I wasn't really one for presents, really. I always preferred just getting money from my parents, something along those lines. But I remember specifically when I was a kid, I would collect the Hess truck that came out every Christmas or so. You know,
the green trucks.
Yeah, the green from the gas station. They always had a new truck, airplane, ambulance, fire truck, whatever it may be. So I had a nice collection of those. You know, as I grew older, it wasn't that exciting, but still, it was tradition that I would just have one each year. So I got a nice collection of those collectible items. But other than that, it's just a gift every day to be alive and breathing. Try and go into each day with a positive attitude and mindset, and live my best life.
We'll go to the next hand. Zahar, hi, how are you? Is it Zohar or Zahar?
Zahar.
Don't mess with the Zohar. Remember that movie?
Zohan.
Zohan.
Other Sandler movie.
Don't mess with the Zohan.
That's right.
5-5 uncapped here on Saturday, the 26th of December, 2020. We'll be open 24 hours. If you're in Austin, you got plenty of time. Come on down to the Lodge. We're located right on I-35 Access Road, 1401 I-35 South.
Pretty serious car accident out there today.
Is there really?
There was earlier. So keep in mind on that. If you're coming down, give yourself a little extra time. I'm sure that's cleaned up by now, but a little rare accident right there on the service road today.
Got to drive careful out there. Queen 8 of hearts versus Queen 9 of clubs. There's a queen, but an ace out there. That might slow down some of the action, but both players flop a queen. There's another spade.
Check here. So I'd like to see somebody believe in their queen, as they do. Joan fires out a little bit of a feeler bet there. Gets quickly called there by Sasha.
And the 9 will play. Joan is going to win this one. And Sasha sees it. And Joan is going to take it down. It looks like Sammy's going to color up. He's going to get rid of about $800 worth of red chips and get some different colors. We'll go on to the next hand. I want to see a giant hand here. It's fun when you see a bunch of chips in the middle of the pot.
Yeah. Well, you got to have usually a piece, a little piece of something here. A lot of these players are completely whiffing the flops and the turns here, and just going down with a small pair, medium pair, bottom pair. But Sammy waking up with an ace-queen suited here, and he said he wanted to play. This is a good time to start playing. Ken with a pair might like to go set mining. Same with Big Tony.
Here comes Sammy.
Finally, a little bit of some.
Sammy's going to 3-bet.
Joan with a 2 paint card. She might have liked to come along. 150 a little pricey, especially when you only have 690 or so behind. So with Joan's stack size, this kind of makes it tough to continue. She might, if she was a little bit deeper, she could, but still, she's not scared, and she's going to come along. 145, giving Ken and Tony a nice price to set mine here. So I suspect we're going to go 4-way to a flop here. So we got one brewing here after a few slow pots. This one's a little bit spicy as we go 4-way, and let's see what the flop brings.
Uh-oh.
Hello, just what the doctor ordered.
Set over set.
So this one,
over top pair.
Yeah, this is a big one. So Tony really having a brutal night here. 1.5 behind. That's gonna all go bye-bye. Let's see.
Ken with middle set.
Joan with top pair too. And let's see what Ken does. Looks like Ken's going for raising chips now. So.
And Big Tony is loving it. In his mind, he's loving this.
He might be, yeah. But he knows Ken's range. They've played together, so he has bottom set. He could be worried about 4s or potentially jacks. Joan's going out there with a raise.
There it is, all in.
He only's got 1.5 behind, so you got to go with it. And I don't think Joan's going to fold either. So I think Joan's going to call this off with her stack. She only has, that a little bit behind, and the pot's already so big. But
she folds it.
She folds it. Great fold there by Joan. I thought she was going to go broke on that hand. Little did I know. And Ken is only worried about jacks, and he's asking for a count. He hasn't even snapped this off yet. It's only about 1,000 more. He won't be folding. But we were asking. I don't know how he hasn't snapped this off already. What are we waiting for, Ken? Ken, what are we waiting for, Ken? Ken. Come on, Ken. There's no way he's folding. 0% chance. I'm quite amazed that it's taking this long for him to call when it's only $1,000 more. So yeah,
he's going to make the call.
Takes his time. Probably should have been a little bit quicker. And Tony, just brutal spot here for Tony. One outer here one time. He's looking for the deuce. Otherwise, Ken's going to have a double. Rightfully so. Yeah, pretty brutal. Boat over boat. And we're gonna ship the money over.
And Tony just.
Yeah. And you know what's pretty interesting? If
Joan.
Well, I thought, Joan would not have voted up. She just would have had.
She would have just had trips.
She sees the river. She's actually going broke. But good for Joan getting away when she did. And
wow.
Tony's just having a brutal night here.
He's going to buy in for some more.
Flops top pair, gets an over pair, and then gets set over set. So just some bad spots, and C2 and C3 are the fortunate winners of those two hands.
Oh, set over set is just a killer. Hey, we're over 50 people in the chat. Hey,
yeah.
Hey.
That's what we like. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. We thank you guys for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, listening to Rick and I, Skull Mike and Slick Rick in the booth here, live from the Lodge Poker Club in Round Rock, Texas, 5-5, uncapped, no-limit hold'em poker. So whatever dollar amount that you want to put on the table, you are welcome to do so. If you want to come in here with $2 million and pick up on these short stacks, by all means. We got large denomination chips, you are welcome. It's all legal here at the lodge. Let's see how long it takes Ken to rack up his chips in C2. I mean, he's got a little overflowing volcano there with some green guck. Set over set there, and he is not going to even elect to stack up his chips. He's going to fire in some more chips to this spot. He likes his holding. It looks to be 65. Mystery hand here from C2. He can't even have his cards over the sensor yet because all his chips are over the sensor. So we're going to play this hand blind if we're in Ken if he gets the action. Joe makes the call with the suited ace-7 of clubs.
He just has to have his chips stacked perfectly, like the columns in Rome. And there we go, 3 players to the flop. Joan with 7-8 of clubs. And we've got 2 clubs. Joan with a straight flush draw.
Definitely a 9 not in Ken's range here.
Deuce of hearts.
Imagine Ken has like a, you know, an ace-king, ace-queen type of hand. So I'm putting Ken on ace high. And let's see Texas Apache looking to bluff off his opponents here. Jones already in the fold position. Might be able to get Ken to fold his ace high here. Is Ken going to snip this out? We don't even know what Ken has, but I'm telling you folks at home, he's got ace high and he sends it into the muck, and Apache gets it done.
So Apache's going to take it down. Ken still stacking his chips from the set over set. Big win over Big Tony. Big Tony. It's already rebought. There's some stats. The VPIP. Kazim with Big Tony. Pre-flop razors. There's the stats right there. Aggression frequency.
Yeah, Tony on the top there, but unfortunately for him, he's had the goods, but just his opponents have had the better. And as I'm in the booth here with you guys, I am taking a list for next week. I already got a couple of hits, emails, and texts for people who want to get on the action for next week. So, again, we will be streaming next Saturday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, another 5-5 uncapped game. And the list is forming, folks. A lot of new players. Some players we haven't seen in a while are going to be coming back to the lodge here, mixing it up. I might pick a couple players from this game.
I think your title now should be Recruitment Poobah of the Lodge. What is your actual title as we see 6, 8, 9 of clubs?
Player, commentator, extraordinaire, game coordinator,
Sammy with
poker
the top pair.
enthusiast, whatever you want to call me, I will deal with it. Take it and handle it, even if you want to call it. I've been called Smurf, Little Leprechaun. It's all fun. I can take it with a smile. I'm one for a needle.
Queen of spades. Neither player hits that, but Sammy's still with the 9, second pair. Dennis looking for an open. He has an open-ended straight draw. And hits it. So Dennis hit his straight. Never good when there's 4 to a straight out there and you don't have a straight. 250 is the bet. Going to be a very, very hard call.
Tough spot for Sammy. You know, Sammy wanted to mix it up. Does not very familiar with Dennis at all. So these players, just going off what they've seen so far in the night, Sammy with second pair, pretty wet board. Straights out there, flushes out there, the queen's out there, but he makes the call, and the 9 is no good. Straight good for Dennis. And again, Dennis took a hit early on, but has rebounded nicely, and he's starting to build a nice stack here as we power on. 9:30, halfway through the stream. We're going to be going another hour and a half until 11 Central Time. So, a nice one there for Dennis.
Yeah, I'm going to get a different chair here. I'm going to hop off for a minute because this chair is not doing it for me. I'll be right back here.
Not doing it for you, Rick, huh? Might be those Christmas cookies. But Skull Mike here in the booth solo now as Rick swaps out this chair here. Got any questions for me? Fire them in the chat. 5-5 uncapped as you see Kazim there with a nice stack of blacks. Full stack of blacks there would be about 2K, as we see Kazim 5.5K effective. Tired of folding, he's been a little card dead, so he's going to kind of limp in there with his Jack 8 off. King 2 suited for Sasha, juicing it up to 25.
And I'm back.
Rick's back, like the flash. New chair.
Oh, yeah, much better.
There we go. So King High still good. Now Kazim picks up a gutty along with his heart, so I imagine he's going to fire out $30 as he does.
Sasha with the quick call.
Sasha's the one with the King 2 of hearts. Yeah, Kazim just with Jack High. My bad, and the flush gets there now, so. No, I got this hand all backwards. My bad, Jack of clubs. My bad, folks. We'll blame it on Rick for getting a chair all up in my new chair all up in my face.
Kazim with the straight.
Yeah, gets there on the river with that, and Sasha just King High misses everything, and the straight gets there. So Kazim limps in with the Jack 8 off, tired of being card dead, and then gets rewarded there on the river.
So yeah, we talked earlier about the best toy you ever got, the best gift you ever got for Hanukkah. And mine was, believe it or not,
A poker deck.
no,
A card.
Pong. Back in pre-video games. Remember the game where it just went back and forth? All you had was tennis. You had a paddle, and the other guy had a paddle, and you went back and forth. This was ingenious stuff back in 1972, 73. No one had video games on your television, and that was what we got in 1973, and we were so happy.
Wow, thank God for 2020.
I mean, Pong. Can you imagine that? Now the kids would laugh at that game.
Yeah, I played a lot of beer pong. I don't know. Ping pong.
Queen 9-4, 2 diamonds. Straight draw for Kazim.
I used to be undefeated and untouchable in beer pong. Now I've aged. I'm terrible.
You give up beer pong, you stop playing for a couple months, and the youngsters just pass you by.
Pass you up on the rankings for sure. College days, unstoppable. Back in the fraternities, we'd have a ladder, and we'd take it very seriously. We'd have weekly matchups, and if you beat the other team, you take their spot on the ladder on the ranking system.
My goodness.
So we weren't messing around back in the day. But now I'm just straight trash. Only putting my time into poker, trying to get better at that. Poker and medical devices, that's my game, boys.
Medical devices are us.
That's right. But let's get back to the game here.
Looks like we got a $50 straddle. Sasha says enough playing around. Let's get this game out of the mud. $50 straddle. Joan looks down at her cards and says, as Kazim, Apache folds before Joan can even fold. Now over to Ken. Joan calls with her Jack Queen offsuit. Ken L with the ace-9 of hearts.
Yeah. Ken respects Joan. Ken trying to take a look at Joan's stack. It's tough when, you have a table of players that are so deep and then you have a couple shorties, So, seat 8 and 9, bringing up the rear as we see, kind of seat 2, 3, 4, and 5 pretty deep. So you always got to keep in mind the opponents that you're playing and how deep they are and adjust your bet sizing accordingly. So you don't want to get yourself in a tricky spot here.
5 to the flop. There's already close to 300 in there as
Jones going to spike top pair here. No diamonds for anybody. Sai still set mining. Gutty there for Sasha.
Joan with second pair, so nobody with a king.
Yeah, she's no pair. Nobody holding the king. That's correct. Checks around.
There's a 6 of diamonds. Now
just a 2 of diamonds.
Sai with the only diamond.
Let's see if Joan starts believing in her queen. She does not currently.
Ken is going to get a little frisky here.
Nope, he checks.
3 on the river.
Queen's still good. Nobody making a bet here, 5 away. So I'd like to see somebody take a stab at this.
Joan does.
Joan finally becoming a believer in her queens, but nobody's going to be calling this bet. And the queens and threes, maybe sire. No, yeah, I don't think he'd be making that call. And the queens are good enough.
Joan will take down the pot. Give a tip to Frank, and we'll move on to the next one. Looks like we have a bomb pot going on.
Joan is grinding here. Grinding, refusing to be felted, trying to double up that stack. Shout out to the massage ladies there in the background. Anybody looking here to get a massage at the lodge, $1.50 a minute. It's a good price there to get a little rub. Shoulders, back, lower back, and really, help you get through a long session. If you're looking to put in long hours here at the lodge, they can definitely assist and help you out and make that dream a reality. Ken's going to get the deck right here. Frank's going to get the pot right here and pitch out a new, we're going to be bombing here. So everyone's anteed up already. Single board, no limit hold'em bomb pot.
We'll go straight to the flop. No bets. Go straight to the flop. 4, 6, jack, 2 hearts.
And if we would have made that bet earlier on, you would have won, Rick, because Ken is in on the action.
Wow.
So again, you're refusing to bet here. You're losing money.
I
in
am.
the booth. I was trying to donate some money.
Hey, if you want to donate, just say I want to donate.
Nope. I need a second party involved. I'm not just going to... I need the action before I can donate. The commitment.
Big Tony's going to take down this bomb pot.
Yep, top pair, not much anything else for anybody, so takes it down with a nice bet. It gets really, really juicy and interesting when you have those double board bomb pots. But again, for the sake of technology and the card readers, it's very hard to do. So for the ease of the stream, a little stress off our producer Dave as well and us in the booth here, we're just going to be doing those single board bomb pots every time it matches up on the button. Now back to the regular action, 5-5 button on Dennis. Action on Sasha, but he's away from the table, so now it's folded around Joan.
Ken looks down at 7-3 offsuit. He'll fold that hand. Over to Cy. Haven't seen Cy get involved lately. He's going to raise it up on cue. He's going to make it look like 40. And here comes Kazim and Big Tony back over to Joan. And Joan will call too. So we'll go 4 to a flop. 160 in the pot right now. Looks like King Jack 8, 2 diamonds. And Cy flops top pair. He's going to continue his story, makes it 90.
Going to be tough. The only one who's going to be calling this bet possibly would be Kazim. Imagine he's going to probably make the fold. It's going to fold around. And Cy's going to take down the pot. 56 people in the chat. That's what we love to see. We're growing each and every week. So if you tuned in with us from the start, we really appreciate you tuning in every Saturday evening and sticking around with us. That's from Rick, Mike, Jermaine, and Dave, all putting in the hard work here in the booth for y'all's enjoyment. So we really appreciate it. Happy holidays to all tuning in.
Absolutely.
Like and subscribe to that channel. Trying to get hundreds and hundreds of viewers each week. That's the goal. We're on our way.
We're going to get there someday. We really are just getting started with this the last few months. We've gotten better and better, getting some great compliments. I'm not asking for any, but we have gotten some great compliments from a lot of people saying they like what we're doing. So we're going to continue and try to get better each and every week. We realize we've still got a long way to go. 5, 6, 9, 2 clubs. As looks like
Interesting board here. Dennis has top pair.
So does Apache.
No clubs for anybody. We're not sure what Sasha's holding.
Dennis and Apache with the same hand.
Joan floating with some overs here. Doesn't get there.
2 pair for both Apache and Dennis.
These two have tangoed early on with a similar board texture. So let's see what this river brings. I imagine this is just going to end up check or bet call. So we're going to be chopping this up. I don't think anybody's going to get too creative or frisky here. That's going to not be enough for Dennis to fold. He's going to call this off rather quickly. And we're going to chop it up. Choppy chop.
Absolutely.
Can't be a sole winner every hand. Sometimes you just wake up with the same hand as your opponent, and you give the dealer a little bit more work as he chops it up. You get half, I get half. Thank you very much, dealer, and we're on to the next. So that's how it works.
Also want to say thank you to the lodge ownership for making all this happen. Without them, and without, of course, Dave, we couldn't make this all happen because there's so many moving pieces. People would be shocked. You know, yes, we have an RFID table. Yes, we have buy special decks to be read by that RFID table. But behind the scenes, the computers, the cameras, everything, it's a lot harder than it looks to make it happen. And
it all costs money.
There was a tremendous investment made by both the club and by Dave in equipment, and I think it's paying off because each show we are getting a little bit better.
25.
There's a raise by Dennis. He's going to make it 25. Call by Sammy, a call by Sasha, a call by Joan. We're going to have a bunch of people going to this flop with 25.
6 players.
Frank will lay us out King Jack 4.
Nobody with any of those paint cards.
Gut shot straight draw for Sammy. There's a king.
9 still in the lead. Although Sammy with a pair and a flush draw. Or Kazim. My apologies. Kazim with the pair and the flush draw. So let's see what happens. Folds around to Kazim. He checks it. We're going to see a river. And the hearts do get there. So now it is a flush for Kazim. The board is paired. Got to proceed with caution. And Sammy says, maybe my queen's good, but no, sir, it is not. And I don't really see Kazim raising this. I think he's just probably going to call it off. He might elect to go for a raise. He just calls it, yeah. Board's paired. Flush is kind of low. Calls it off. 2 pair, no good for Sammy. Kazim's going to take down a nice pot there. So again, if you're tuning in, next week, Saturday, same time, same place, 5-5 uncapped, no limit poker. 2 weeks from today, we're having our $1,000 buy-in from each player. Winner take all, no deals allowed. The Royal Rumble at the lodge. You know, 9 will enter, but only 1 will survive. And that's a very nice, action-packed, talented lineup that I've put together. So 9 players from around town that you might be all familiar with. But they all have a lot of poker experience, and they all have a lot of gambles. So I'm very excited for that 2 weeks from today. So stay tuned. Every Saturday, Lodge Poker Club live stream. Like and subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on any of the upcoming action.
9 will enter. 1 will leave. The cage match.
Yes, rumor has it there might be some ladders and tables surrounding the table to get that authentic vibe.
We should have each person needs to be introed into their seat.
Maybe we can make that actually happen.
From Long Island, by way of Arizona University.
That's right.
The tennis star, Mike the Skull Reisman.
Thank you.
I'll
if you smell what the skull.
I'll do some intros for people.
The Rock was my guy.
There we go. 95 is the bet.
let's see what we got cooking here.
Joan
So
will
Tony's
go
got
out.
7.
So Cy and Apache.
As we see, Cy just has ace high. Now it connects with that jack. So no need to bluff at this pot anymore as he connects with the jack. Apache reaching for chips. That's going to get snapped off in under a second. And I think no, what does he have there? I can't really see, but it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not a queen.
Cy snaps him off, hits the jack on the river.
So Texas Apache continues to try and bluff Cy, but Cy's not having any of it. Did not think for a second that he could be beat. And even if he was beat, he was going to pay to see it. So that's going to, Texas Apache might need to adjust, and especially what we saw earlier on when he bluffed Cy to fold those queens. Cy is not going to be folding his hands anymore to Texas Apache. He does not want to be embarrassed. He saw on the monitors here in the club a half-hour delay that Apache made a nice play on him, and he's not going to let that happen again. As we swap out the deck here, we have another deck here. We just got to make sure everything's right. All these decks are special with the RFID sensor in the middle, and you see that little chip on the felt there by each player's stack. That's where they rub the cards over to get the appropriate read, so we can share with you at home what everybody's holding. So Frank's going to get that deck right, and we're going to continue on. 9:50 Central Standard Time. Going to be going for another 70 minutes or so. So buckle up. Get your nice little beverage that you got cooking here. Tea, water, Heineken,
You've got a couple beers over there.
I got a couple beers here on the DL.
Sometimes you do.
They're getting a little warm. They're getting a little warm just sitting there. It's hard to drink and speak all at the same time, but I make it work. Do I you tell everybody my secrets?
You got usually you got something a little harder. Your little liquor that you got going on today. It's just a little Heineken.
I usually drink Johnny Walker Black Label. That's my go-to. I got a nice little decanter at home, maybe a flask or two, but I keep it professional as always. Don't overdo it.
105.
Sammy trying to get in the mix here. He's going to raise it to 105. Both Apache, Ken, Kazim go out, and Sammy will take it down. We'll go on to the next hand. Joan on the button. Chip count. Ken L with 6,700. Cy with 6,400. Kazim 5,700. Dennis 3,500. And all the way down to 400.
Yeah, so next week should be good again. A lot of new players. Kayam shot me a message. We haven't seen him in a while. He's going to be back in the mix. Cindy, who plays here on a regular basis, asked to play, so I think we're going to get her a seat. Joe, who you've seen on our previous 5-5 games and then made the final table of the Art of Poker. He wants a seat. Also, Scotland Roger wants a seat. So plenty of old and familiar faces that are not playing on tonight's stream will be playing next week. Stay tuned for that. Cy's got pocket 7s.
85.
He's going to raise it up. 85, so trying to make his set mining experience well worth it and profitable here if he spikes that 7. Dennis folds, Kazim folds, Big Tony, who still after Cy, as Cy is holding a lot of Big Tony's money from the first 15 minutes of the stream on that monster double up. He's going to try and call with his King 10 off. Joe makes the call with Ace 3 off, and it's back around to Texas Apache, who lays it down. So we're going to go 3-way to a flop. Let's see what it brings.
Frank will give us that flop. King 3-8, 2 spades, as Big Tony flops top pair.
So fortunate for Tony here, he's going to recoup a little bit some of those losses here. Cy's going to c-bet, standard c-bet, try and tell the story of a big hand, ace, king, king, queen, etc. But Tony's the one holding the king in this circumstance. Jones got bottom pair, and she might elect to peel one here and try and get lucky on the turn. So we went three-way to a flop, and we'll continue on three-way to a turn.
There's another king, and Big Tony now with trips.
So I imagine Sai is going to shut down after he gets called in both spots here. I think he's going to surrender, but no, he's still going to bet rather large. So there is no surrender in Sai's game. Still trying to tell the story that he is holding a king, maybe hoping that his opponents are maybe chasing spades. But now he knows that his 7 is no good, and the only way to win this pot now is going to be to barrel again on this river. So if you barrel again on the turn, are you going to shut down now here on the river? Let's see what Sai elects to do. Tough spot for Sai, and he just got counterfeited. So now he's just playing kings and 8s with a 7. So a brutal card there, and I think he ripped it, and he gets snapped off there. So a lot of balls there by Sai. Rips it in. It's kind of the same type of line that he did earlier on when he had the goods there, but gets counterfeited. Pretty much knew he was no good, but went for it all to try and bluff his opponent, get his opponent off a stronger holding. But obviously Tony with the kings full there going nowhere. Snap calls him. So props to you, Tony, for scooping in a nice big pot, recouping a lot of those losses from earlier on in the stream. A nice big pot there for big old Tony.
Yeah, he deserves it. He's had some tough breaks tonight, set over set in particular. I remember that one. And that's good to see him getting some of those chips back as Frank maneuvers it all. Got a lot of comments on the joke that I told last week about the dog and the bar. And I'll have another joke for you in a minute.
Oh, God. It's joke time with Rick here.
It's probably going to be a tradition. Something that fans can really look forward to.
Now might be a good time to go get your second or third beverage from the fridge, folks.
Absolutely. I was reading earlier, Mike, that they're coming out with a new Playboy just for married men. It's the same centerfold every month. And there's the joke of the day from Rick Epstein. We'll be right here at the Pineapple Room next week.
Wow. Comedy clubs are shut down now here with COVID, so a lot of the comedians are back in the lab trying to write down some new material. And you might want to consider doing the same.
At least I keep them in between hands.
That's fair. This is a poker show, not a open mic night.
Yeah. So we got a raise from Sasha up to 40. He's trying to get the game going. He's made some bets and trying to get it going here. It's been exciting as
Sammy promised some big bluffs, and we've yet to see him from the 8 seed. So talk is cheap, Sammy. If you're watching on your phone, which I think you are on that 30-minute delay, you will hear me shortly, and we want you getting those chips in like the boss that you are.
Big Tony with the bet, 75. With 3-5, he flopped middle pair. And we've got a set for Dennis.
Seti McGetty's for Dennis.
A lot of sets of twos tonight.
Twos, fours. Some middle pair for Tony. Backdoor clubs.
Looks like Joan bought in for some more. She's got some chips coming her way.
And Dennis is not electing to slow play this at all. Raising it up right now, rather large at 325. And I don't think anybody can come along. We're not sure what Sasha's holding here. Sasha looks a little suspicious, trying to eye up Dennis. But Dennis doesn't give much away at all. Dennis pretty consistent, solid poker face. Sasha taking his time. He's got a mystery hand here. The Tabasco sauce goes on the hundies, and the cards going in the muck. Don't see Apache calling this, so Dennis is going to take down this pot right now.
Apache with a gut shot and a backdoor spade draw.
Don't see him making this call.
No.
In position here, can maybe peel one and see what the turn brings and get his hand deeper in the cookie jar. But I don't see him making this call. He is pretty sticky, just like that, you know, bazooka gum on the bottom of your shoe. That is Texas Apache. And he's looking at his chips, and he is reaching for all the blacks.
Wow.
And
No,
he
he'll
makes
make the call.
So
He's
he
searching
could-
for that 4.
He can definitely gain a lot more equity here with a fortunate turn. Obviously looking for a 4, but if
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God!
Right in the gut.
Oh my
Oh
God!
my
So
God.
the ambitious call on the flop there with Gutshot City is rewarded.
Is
And
that?
there's no way you put him on 6-3 either.
my
so
God.
Dennis is going to go rather large here.
Is that
Dennis checks it. Wow.
call? Is that call? Was that implied odds or what? Here we go. A huge
you
bet.
gain more equity with, you know, any spade. You're obviously hoping for a 4, but a 4 is so unlikely. And Dennis sets
All in. Quick call.
Dennis sets the traps and ends up hanging himself. And he's going to need the board to pair. No talks of any runs. You run it once or twice. We're going to run it one time. The board needs
No
a
pair.
And Dennis is going to get stacked here off by Apache. But it looks like our chip readers are probably a little off. I think you know, Dennis is the one having Apache covered, so it's not going to be a full stack. Chip amounts are a little off here, so Dennis is still going to have some money behind.
Made the $370 call to search for a gut shot.
Wow.
Got it.
Gets there. No waiting.
No waiting needed, but
Dennis sets the trap,
had to fade the board pair.
and he's a little bit stunned there. So
Again, a set of deuces goes down in flames.
the little bazooka gum on the bottom of your shoe
Huge pot for
gets there.
Apache. How sweet is that to catch the gut shot?
Snapped them off so quick there as Dennis goes all in. Apache's chips were in lightning speed.
Yeah, beat him in. Dennis, before Dennis's chips hit the felt,
Snap City.
Apache had his chips in. Oh my goodness.
Wowzers. And Dennis is a little shook there. You see the disappointment through the mask. He's going to have to rebound again and try and recoup some of those chips, but it's going to be tough to do as we approach the 10 o'clock hour. One more hour left on this live stream tonight, day after Christmas 2020. Again, these players will continue to play on through the early morning hours.
Yeah, my weekly shift is tomorrow at 5:55 a.m. I wonder if this game will still be going when I come back here to the lodge
Time will tell.
for my one shift of the week. 5:55 a.m. Jack 6 on the flop. I like coming in at that time. It's usually fairly quiet. I'm all showered and ready to go for the day, and most of the players have been here for a long time.
Coming in here, you're saying it's a little stinky or so?
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm
Little
refreshed.
Little body odor going on in the room? Let's hope not.
No, I'm
Let's hope
refreshed.
That's good. 'Cause you smell pretty bad.
So there's-
You smell pretty bad right now.
There's the bet, 30. Sasha with the ace-6 has 2 pairs, Jackson 6s. 2 spades for Apache. There's the 8 now. Now an open-ended straight draw.
God, is Apache just going to get there again? You know he's not going. You know, he's got chips to spray with now. He will not be folding with the flush and the open-ender.
A spade here would be a disaster for Cy.
Yeah. Sai's not going anywhere either. Call. So we're going to take a spicy river here.
There's a 7. And Cy
So
is
Sai's
going to
good.
get
2
there.
pair. Sasha checks, hoping he's got some showdown value with his 2-pair jacks and 6s. Apache gives up as well, and Sai shows down the winner. So,
Apache saying, "You're lucky a spade didn't come."
That's exactly what he's saying. And he's also saying, "I've seen you call me down 4 or 5 times tonight already. I was not going to try and bluff at another one there after I got gifted all these new chips by the Miracle 4. Heard round rock. Santa came a little bit late, but has delivered for Texas Apache.
The 4 of clubs.
Still a little aftershocks rumbling around the lodge there from that gutty that got there. My goodness.
He ordered it on Amazon Prime, and it was delivered.
Yeah, immediately. Can I please get the 4 to complete my straight? Let me click checkout now. And then boom.
That's
maybe
a great
with
feeling.
a side of a set crusher. Thank you. And gets there. So unbelievable.
Haven't seen Steven Reisman in the chat. Hopefully he's okay.
I think he's all right. He might be a little heavy on the vodka, or who knows?
I mean,
he might be watching a movie with the lady.
He's usually in here.
He's usually in here. So
causing all sorts of havoc in here.
it's all right. You can sit one out. We got 60 plus in the chat
I
here.
hope everything's all right on Long Island. And
South Carolina.
Oh, he's in South Carolina?
They have moved down there a couple years ago.
Okay. Queen Jack Deuce.
Middle pair for Dennis. Middle pair for Cy.
Where's he, in Charleston?
He's in Bluffton, right outside of Hilton Head.
Okay, nice. There's a bet by Apache with top pair. Good kicker with the king.
Earth to Steve, if you're out there calling all Steves in the chat, show yourself. That will get him out of the woodwork if he's out there.
I'd love to hear from him. He's usually
So
good
Apache
for
gets there with top pair, scaring all the middle pairs away. Apache is gaining some steam here, gaining some momentum from that magic 4 a couple hands ago.
moving into our final hour here. It's 10:05 Austin time. We'll go till 11. 2 hours in, we've had some good hands.
Couple coolers for sure. Hands that were far out in the lead and then just get destroyed.
And it looks like the big tournament from today, the Saturday $150 buy-in, is down to about 5 people. So that might end when
similar timing.
when we're still on air. That would be fun to see who wins that one. And there's the raise from Cy. He's going to make it 80 with 8-6 of diamonds. Sasha will go out. Here comes Joan with pocket 8s, the snowman. She's going to make the call. Over to Apache with 5-4 offsuit. Ken, who's been quiet since he had that huge hand, set over set, is going to make the call with King Queen. Uh-oh. Ken flops open ender.
Still 8's in the lead here. Cy, knowing that his opponents tend to be more on the tighter side, is going to elect to lead out after checks around to him. But Ken going nowhere with his 2 overs and the open ender. So let's see what the turn brings.
There's a 5.
No help.
So
to
now
either
it got
player.
shot straight now for Cy.
And Cy shutting down as Ken rivers the nuts.
Ugh.
So Ken will be betting large here, and Cy will quickly be folding. And we're going to be going on to the next hand. So there's that.
Ken makes it 200. 225, actually. Ken is running good tonight. Wearing his favorite ball player on his hat. I thought that was Reggie Jackson. It's Rush Limbaugh. I thought it was Reggie Jackson.
I think his boy Rush just announced his retirement too.
No comment there. And we'll move on to the next one.
Each his own.
Cumulative winnings. Ken over about 2K. Cy 1.4. could have sworn that said Reggie Jackson on his hat. I thought he was a baseball fan, but it actually says Rush Limbaugh. Over to Joan. Joan with king 5 of diamonds. Apache makes the call. Ken will go out. Cy will make the call. Small pot right now. Over to Kazim. Here's the raise. Sasha says enough. Limp, limp, limp. Here's the raise. Sasha makes it 50 and Joan will come along. There's one fold. Cy will come along. Dennis is going to do a little 3-bet 2-step. And he's going to raise that up to 150.
The 3-bet 2-step. I like it. I like it.
150 is the bet. Now 3 players remain. That went from 5 limping to 150, 3 players. Here's the flop. 10, 3, 4. And Dennis has a gut shot wheel draw.
Sasha brings top pair.
Sasha with top pair. There's 180 from Sasha. And over to Dennis. Dennis saw a 4. Made
Yeah, he saw the
Apache
gut shot get there.
Well, he says, and that happened against him.
That's right, but he's not going to fish for that gut shot. That deuce only about 1.5 behind. Maybe even a little bit less than that. Sasha's been relatively quiet, so Dennis is going to elect to pick a better spot, and Sasha's going to take down a nice little pot. So good for Sasha.
So how's the cage match work? Philip Nathan asks. Mike, why don't you tell everybody? It's the Royal Rumble cage match.
Yeah, so it's going to be a just like a tournament structure. I'm trying to actually load the structure as we speak here. It's $1,000 buy-in. Every player is going to get 15,000 in chips. Okay, so
tournament chips.
Tournament chips. So and we're going to have blind levels every 15 minutes increase. So kind of like a little bit of a turbo structure. And every 15 minutes the blinds will increase, and we will play on until we have a winner. No deals, no chops. Can't be like, oh, you know, a couple players got eliminated, maybe we'll break up the prize pool. Not allowed. The prize pool will be set, the prize pool will be firm, and there's going to be one winner at the end of the day, and that's going to take place 2 weeks from today, right here at the lodge, at the featured table, live streamed. Like and subscribe to the channel.
King 7. We've got to actually get a title for that. I like the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble. Scotland or Roger or Joe? They're playing 2-5 still? Yeah, ask him. Give him the option. Yeah, get Roger.
King 7 is the flop. Apache with the 4s. In good shape right now, as Kazim with just ace-jack. Kazim will lead out for 50. Texas Apache will make the call. Here comes the turn. There's the queen of diamonds. James Conboy says Ken is a boss with that hat. Okay, that's okay. To each their own. That is okay with me. Because 2021 is going to bring a new attitude, hopefully, for the United States. We're not going to hate each other as much. I hope. We can disagree, folks. We just can't hate each other. That's just where I draw the line.
So it looks like we're going to be losing player 3 here in the upcoming minutes. So we're going to have a new player coming in here shortly. I'm not sure. Again, we're on a 30-minute delay. So I'm not sure if we have a monster cooler approaching. The time will tell.
So it looks like it's over to Ken, who'll make the $5 call. Over to Dennis. Dennis will fold. Kazim will call, as does Big Tony. And Sasha will fold on the button. Over to Sammy. Sammy's going to put some more chips in this pot. Looks like he's going to make it 55.
About time Sammy showed up to the stream. Wanted to see, it's been relatively quiet. Wakes up with the ladies.
Here comes the flop from Frank. 539 Rainbow. Kazim flops top pair, but Sammy with the queens. The ladies.
Good flop there for queens.
$200 is the bet.
Snap called by Kazim. Out of turn.
Wow, he did, and his
Did not know that Ken had.
he's bound to that call if the action doesn't change.
Ken is laughing at that bet there. Says, wait for me, sir, young man. So the snap call stands, and Tony, fishing for an 8, makes the call as well. So doesn't get there on the turn. Sammy will be all in here. Probably just called off by Kazim. But if the price is good, it looks like to be only about 200 behind. Big Tony might elect to continue. Sammy now checking. Don't love that check on the turn. Doesn't like to see that king.
Ugh.
Probably missed out. I much would have preferred Sammy putting in his whole stack there. Probably still getting called by 9. So the 5 scared Sammy a little bit. And now he elects to put money in. So I'm a little confused about that line, but still the best hand as we look at his opponent's holdings.
175 is Sammy's bet, not 17. So Kazim will have to call $175.
So a little bit of a harder spot now for Kazim, especially with Tony behind. It would have definitely called off this bet on the turn. Now a king beats him. Now a 5 beats him. Pocket queens beat him. Pocket 10s beat him. So multiple hands that we've just gone through beat Kazim. Let's see, as Sammy's been relatively quiet. Fold, fold, and the queens are good.
And Sammy will take down the pot wearing his MGM.
Still missed out
Zip
on
up.
a little bit, about $200 more or so if he puts that in on the turn. I believe Kazim makes that call. But Sammy will take down a smaller pot, then could have been a little bit more of a larger pot. But still, any pot you take down is better than a pot going to your opponent.
Yeah, I was at another Texas high school football game. 5,500 people showed up. Do you know, Mike, the 6A championship game, the largest group in Florida, the largest classification in Florida, their championship game, you know how many they had?
No.
5,000 people. So in a playoff game, in one of many in Texas, we had more here in Austin at a 5A championship game in the quarterfinals.
You're talking with crowd?
Crowd size. Than the championship game in Florida did.
It's not surprising.
Well, I mean, Texas is it's just on another level. High school football.
There is a pandemic going on. We forget about that.
Well, but I'm talking without pandemic.
What do you mean with that? Were you talking about last year?
Well, this year it happened, but last year 55,000 people saw the 6A championship game at Jerry World. That would have ranked 11th in bowl games.
There you go. Yeah, no joke. Texas high school football, the mecca for sure.
Craziness. I was the announcer. I was the PA announcer for Liberty Hill versus Rouse today. What a fantastic game that was. Here's the turn. A queen of hearts as Dennis now hits top pair.
I just watched a little Buccaneers massacre the Lions. Watched a little of that, then came here, played a little cards, and now I'm in the booth with
I gotta get you to sit in the press box with me one day.
Yeah.
There might be a game next week, so we'll see.
Okay.
Because we're getting down to the wire. The next week is round 4. We were in round 3 today, so looks like Dennis is going to win this pot with his king queen, and we'll go on to the next one.
You got a whole list of players and where they've committed to and stuff?
Yeah.
All the information?
My radio show, we don't really talk about recruiting because there's enough people that talk about recruiting. I'm not a.
You just talk about the game.
We talk about the players, shine the spotlight on the players and coaches. We don't talk about recruiting. You know, I hate recruiting. I'm a Longhorn fan. We get all these great recruits, 4- and 5-star players, and we can't win.
Yeah.
Show me. I don't care about the stars behind your name. Give me 3-star players and coach them up.
Yep, good coaching, right mix of players.
I mean,
a lot of pressure on these kids, especially in college football.
Yeah.
You lose one game and then you're out.
Yeah.
I don't like the format of college football at all, and that's probably honestly why it's one of my least favorite sports. I watch a lot of sports, and college football is towards the bottom of my list.
It's literally the only sporting event that we don't have a playoff for. The only one in college and in pro. Everyone else, there's a playoff. They call it a playoff, but 4 teams. Ask A&M about the playoff.
It's hard because you have all these different conferences, and
it's all about money.
That's what it's about. And speaking of money, Cy with Big Slick juicing on up to $100. That's 100 George Washington single dollar bills in the middle currently.
9-10-3, 2
Tony.
Clubs. Big Tony.
So again, you remember I was telling you all about a hand here where we might have lost C3. I don't know if he lost a big one or not, but he's continuing to raise here, just ace high. Tony, Dennis gets away from middle pair. He does not want to be the man in the middle here. So Tony continuing on with his flush draw. So this could be a big one here if we say, ace of clubs peels.
There's a queen.
Gets there now. Tony with top pair.
Big Tony with top pair, but now Cy with a gut shot.
I'm just speculating here, but I've heard rumors out there in the room that there was a big one brewing.
Jack, ace, or king is what Cy is looking for. He bet 400, and Big Tony is not going anywhere. Huge pot of brewing here.
This is round 3. These two gentlemen have traded stacks back and
forth. The worst card because it makes the straight. Actually, it makes top pair.
Top pair in the flush.
And the flush draw for Big Tony. He's going to check it to make sure he still has it. Now, Cy does have the blocker there, the king of clubs, but that's not going to stop Big Tony from raising.
Let's see here. So this one definitely has escalated quickly.
To 1,000. Cy, it's going to be hard for him to get away from. Makes the call, and Big Tony shows the flush. Cy would not have made that call had he not hit the ace on the river for sure. Was looking for the jack.
Yeah, it was betting the whole way, though. Could have elected to, check, slow down a little bit there and see what Tony done. Maybe save himself a little bit of money there, but telling the story the whole way there and really hard to get away once you river top pair. And again, you did mention he was blocking the nut flush there, holding the king of clubs himself.
Big Tony might have gotten himself out of the red with that hand.
Yeah,
Big Tony, they're still down 1.3.
I'm not 100% sure if those numbers are accurate or not. It's pretty close here because Tony has made quite the comeback as the room is bouncing for the Dolphins-Raiders game. The Dolphins look to have just taken ahead of the lead here in the final seconds of the fourth quarter. So if you hear some background noise here, I think they just hit a last-second field goal.
Oh, Big Tony making a move here. Was tired of being the punching bag.
Yeah, big rebound there for Tony, and it's always against Cy. Cy and Tony going back and forth all night long here, and now Cy's a little tilted. You can tell Cy's a little tilted, and now this is round 4 or round 5 with these guys. Familiar faces, Big Tony, Cy.
And Tony on a roll right now.
On a roll.
Gives Frank some more tip chips. Frank and his family say thank you.
15.
Let's see if Cy can rebound. He's got to get his act back together, keep it under control.
About 10:20 in the evening here in Austin, Texas. Poker night at the Lodge. We just put episode 21 in the can earlier tonight, and this is a live stream. America's Card Room is our title sponsor. If you play online, give them a chance for your action. If you play in person and you are in Austin, we hope you call the Lodge your home. We'd love to have you. King, Queen, Deuce. I guarantee you, if you give us a chance, if you haven't played here yet, which would be amazing because we have so many members, but if you haven't, if you give us a chance, I guarantee you will be back. If not, come see me, Rick, and tell me why.
Wow.
Not that I'll do anything about it. I just want to know why.
Hey, you took all their chips, Rick.
Yeah, not me. Dude, I don't even want. I'm on such a downswing. It's ridiculous. I'm starting to doubt myself.
You got to battle through the variance.
And you see the big tournament back in the corner there, down to 4 with Chino still in it.
Chino and my boy Preston there, you see him. So Preston running good there. He was in one of our previous episodes, so some familiar faces on that one. We cannot live stream that one tonight. Obviously, we preferred and
I think there were 90 people in that.
Yeah, big one. It's one of our special tournaments. Big one re-entry, Art of Poker. You know, the Showdown. A little bit larger than our average Sunday tournament, so a Saturday special. But we wanted to get back to the 5-5 game. We'll be running this at least twice a month, sometimes 3 times a month, every Saturday night. Like and subscribe to the channel. We are bombing away here. Single board, no limit hold'em bomb pot, and we have some action here. Looks like Sammy and Kazim here. Kazim on the flush draw. Sammy with 8s, and the flush gets there. Nobody holding a king or a queen. They might be scared of that. Let's see if Sammy goes for his big bluff that he was talking about. You know 8s are no good here. So if he was talking about bluffing, now is the time. He wants to bluff into 2 opponents. If he goes somewhat large here, I imagine it would work. And he surrenders, so a little...
Kazim is going to win this with the hearts.
Come on, seat 8. Seat 8 could have fired there. Knows you can't win with 8s there after the king and queen goes through, but the flush takes it down.
Looks like Ken has decided to partake in some pizza there.
Ooh, a little bingo slice there.
We've had very success with people eating pizza at the live stream table. Are the whole cards a secret? Don't quite understand that question, but it is an RFID table. The
whole cards are not a secret. They're on a half-hour delay for, obviously the game's on a half-hour delay, and we are broadcasting based on that. Sometimes the reader does not always pick up the cards, so sometimes you might see a player not have their cards exposed on the screen, and that's just a technical glitch. Happens from time to time, and you know, it gives us a chance to play a little mystery hand, so there's nothing wrong with that. But hopefully all the cards read eventually, and then we can see the same time as you guys what each player is holding. But as we see right now, we're not quite sure what Big Tony is holding or Texas Apache, but hopefully that pops up shortly.
They raise from Texas Apache to 35.
6 players.
Looks like we've got 6 players going to the flop. 4-6 Jack, 2 hearts. Joan
says she's all in, but she has some chips, but
yeah,
behind,
she's got plenty of chips. But she checks with the nut flush draw.
Middle pair there for Kazim. And we have Apache checks around to him, and he's going to bet rather large, 150 or 175, and that's going to thin the field. So
Jones not going anywhere.
We are down to 2, heads up to the turn.
8. Now Joan picks up a straight draw.
So we know Jones just holding ace high. We're not quite sure what Apache has, but he keeps firing. It's going to put pressure on Joan. So there's a little bit more than over 210 in the pot here. Graphics a little off on this hand. So we're going to try and get that situated. I know our producer goes in and out here just trying to manage the table, so we might have missed this hand for y'all, but we'll get there together. Joan has checked. Texas Apache.
Here comes a big bet.
No check coming from seat 1. Fires out 275.
I don't think Joan's going to go anywhere here.
You see, Joan has roughly, 850 behind, along those lines. So she's going to peel one off here.
She calls.
Some of these times, calling does you no good, because if you miss, then what do you do now? Like, you could have elected to shove your whole stack there on the turn, hopefully take the pot down without even getting there. It goes check, check, so let's see. Is ace high good? Were they both on hearts? Oh my goodness. No, jack for Apache. Looks like king jack. Top pair for Apache. And Jones flush draw did not get there, and ace high not good enough. Apache takes it down. So a nice pot there for Apache. Nice little rebound as we look at Tony's stack there in seat 6. He has rebounded very nicely. Dennis has put on the hood. He means business. Taking a couple shots to the face, maybe trying to cover up a few of those black eyes, a couple bad beats. We're going to roll on here. We got the straddle on. Action on Sasha. Folds.
Over to Sammy. Sammy looks like he's going to raise it up. Make it look like 55. $60 actually. And Apache in seat 1 looks down. Sees Jack and a 5 and will fold. Over to Dennis. Dennis is going to call. Back to Kazim, who'll fold. And the straddler, Big Tony, will just call. We'll go 3 to the flop. Flop comes 6, 6, 8. And a open ender for Sammy.
Come on, Sammy. It teased us early on. I keep mentioning this about making that big old bluff. He's open-ended here. He was the aggressor pre. And he's reaching for chips, so he isn't going nowhere. Fires out 75. Both opponents with overcards. One folds, and he gets it done. So we're not going to chalk that up as a monster bluff, just a standard C bet. But mixing it up, 7 high was the worst hand. Takes it down. Has his 2 other opponents fold with stronger holdings, although nobody really connected with that flop, minus the open ender. So shout out to Dave there. You see Dave giving Frank a couple more cards, trying to get those RFIDs back in check. Maybe take out a couple of cards that weren't reading properly. Hopefully they are now. Again, we are live, doing this all on the fly. There is no editing, no cuts, no redos. Everything you see here is happening on the fly, so bear with us. We'll get through it together. If something's not reading properly the first go around, we can still see what's going on and see who takes down the pot at the end of the day. That's all that matters.
Looks like we have a straddle, 25. Apache will call, as does Joan and Cy. Dennis will come along, and so will Kazim. It's a party. Big Tony will fold. It's over to the original straddler, who'll make the call. That's Sasha. 6 players will go to the flop. Flop comes ace, jack, 5, rainbow. Gut shot for Apache. Top pair for Dennis. A middle pair, I'm sorry. for Dennis. Dennis is on the button. He's going to make the bet. 150. Apache will call with the gut shot. There's a 9 of hearts. Still, second pair for Dennis is in the lead. Lots of outs, though. 8 outs for Texas Apache. Dennis is going to make it expensive for him to call this. Looks like he's going to make it 250.
Nice job by Dennis here, recognizing where he's at. Has the best hand here with jacks. 3 kicker. Not going nowhere. Obviously outshipped by Texas Apache here, and he wants his revenge as well. So he's after Apache's chips because a lot of Apache's chips were Dennis's prior. So Dennis not afraid, takes down a nice pot. So 10:30 Central Standard Time here. Gonna go for another half hour or so, and then we'll be back next week for another 5-5 cash game. Stay tuned for that. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We've reached a record number of viewers on a single stream. We are growing each and every week, and that's what we'd love to see. So share this with your
Tortoise
friends.
and the hare. We're increasing each week.
Share this with your friends and family. Anybody that likes poker, let them know about the Lodge Poker Club live stream and the games that we got going on here. A couple limpers. You limp, I limp, everybody limps. But the big blind says, enough of this limping. Let me juice it up to 125 with ace-9 off. And that's probably going to take it down. So $5 from every player or so. A nice little, $30 win profit. Sammy clapping up there.
Sammy
Well
giving him the
nice
the
squeeze.
cheer.
That was pretty funny.
I haven't heard from our buddy. God, I just drew a blank.
Philip,
no.
Steve.
Oh, God, I just drew a
Wow,
blank.
he's getting old. Getting old, folks. Don't worry. Rick will get it together at one point or another.
I'll figure it out in a second.
Oh, it's going to bother you. For a
Wow,
while.
it is.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So I can't help you. I'm trying to help you, give you a little lifeline.
You are.
Somebody who has joined us in the chat previously? Or?
Yes, he's been in the chat. What? Why am I drawing a blank? You went to play a tournament with him in San Antonio. Jake the Snake Stein. There we go.
Steiny boy.
Why did I just draw a blank?
Oh, you see, we got there together. He gave me a couple clues.
Jake.
The man has. He's a subscriber to the channel. He might be busy this evening. That's okay.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna kill me because it wasn't that I forgot him. I just sometimes when you're tired, when you get old like me, you'll see. You're a youngster.
So Dennis got the club draw to the nuts here, and he gets there. So nut flush for Dennis. Nobody else holding a club except for Sasha 4 high. Not much in the middle at all for this pot, so not really going to go nowhere. Sammy elects to bluff here, firing out $25, but
there's the raise
the
from
man has 7 high.
Dennis.
So that's going nowhere. Dennis's raise will just take this down. And that is that.
On to the next one. Frank in the box has done a fine job dealing.
Yep, another 20 minutes or so.
Next hand in the air with Sasha on the button. Sammy and Joan in the blinds. 5-5 uncapped here. Poker night at the Lodge. Apache will make the call, and here comes
Looks like Ken has
Ken.
pocket fours, and they were very profitable for him earlier on as he being set over set. So looking to strike magic twice here with the pocket fours.
Cy raises it up to 30. Dennis will call, as does Big Tony, as does Apache. Back over to Ken. Ken will call.
Ken with the best hand here with the pocket four is going to be tough to hold up 6-way to a flop.
Jack 10-6, all spades. Got a couple spades out there. Big Tony has one. Kazim has one.
And that is all. Cy with top pair with the jack now.
Big Tony is way ahead. 48% to win this hand. Now 50 as people fold. Call. Cy makes the bet. Big Tony, they've been going to battle, Mike.
They have all night long. This is a heavyweight fight for sure.
Oh, God. The trip 10. Cy has just got the early double up.
And just call there by Tony. So
Tony
Cy,
will show him the bad news.
Cy maybe gets off a little cheap on this one, but you can see the frustration mounting for Cy, as Tony just seems to be getting there on every street now when these two battle heads up. And again, Cy a little bit lucky that Tony did not elect to raise there. Cy goes for the racks.
Cy is saying, I've had it.
He's had enough. Seems to be calling it a night here. Tony has gotten the best of him. So I think we're going to call that a TKO.
I mean, you got to hand it to Tony. I mean, Tony has taken some bad beats tonight. And
He's hung in there.
he's hung in there. Exactly. And it took him a long time, but I think he's close to
Yeah, I'd say he's in the green.
being in the black right now.
Yeah, I know we had our numbers up earlier, but I believe he's definitely in the green now, for sure.
He's going to ride it here as he has pocket tens. As we say that, he continues to get some good hands.
We're going to have a player fill size seat. It's going to be Scotland Roger. You've seen him in previous streams. He's in the room. So he's next on the list. The list is long. There's multiple players looking to get in on this game as well. We're only going to be going another 20 minutes or so, so the game will continue on once the stream is over. And we will be back again next week with a brand new lineup for some more 5-5 cash.
John Wheels says, good night, Cy.
Yep, nighty-night, Cy.
I mean, look, Cy is a tremendous player. And he
Can't win every night.
You can't.
You can win every session.
and he had some great hands tonight where he early, and that's always tough. You have those big hands early. Apache, pocket kings versus Big Tony with the straight draw and the pair of tens.
Overpair versus overpair here, so this one could get juicy. And Texas Apache not making it cheap. Overbets the pot rather large and gets action from Tony here. So this is a very spicy hand brewing here early on here on the flop. One of the better hands of the night. 8-15 plus. Let's see what the turn brings. Another club. Both players with clubs. So I don't imagine any player going anywhere.
Both with overpairs, both with a club, and a straight draw also for Big Tony.
Pretty interesting here. So Apache started this war here, overbetting the flop. Can't slow down now. And let's see what type of size. It goes for the same, looks like same bet. Snapped off again by Tony. So
Huge pot of brewing, 1,500 now in the skillet. And there's another 4, and both players now with 2 pair.
check. I don't like the check there. accent.
And Tony says that's good.
Would like to see an Apache go for more value there on the river. Satisfied with the 350 on the flop and turn, but kind of, you know, got himself a little confused there after you blast that flop with the overbet and get snapped off by your opponent. You might automatically put them on, you know, a made hand, maybe a flop set, maybe the flush that got there, so you slow down and get a little alarmed. But after they snap call again on the turn rather than the same bet on the flop, I think you feel a little bit more comfortable with your holdings and maybe can fire out a river bet there and see what Tony does. Again, as I said on the stream earlier in tonight and on previous streams that we've had, you know, I'm always one for maximizing the value, the most value you can possibly get on every hand. I know it would be pretty brutal there if you're in Apache's, you know, shoes on the other side of things. If you fire out a bet in there and then all of a sudden Tony goes over the top, then what do you do? But I think that's more unlikely to happen, and I think you firing out maybe a bet of $500 would have Tony call there, and you would have made yourself $500 more. But satisfied with the money that was already in the pot, 1.5K, and we're going to go on to the next hand. 10:45 Central Standard Time here at the Lodge. Like and subscribe to the channel.
Wow. Just saw that I'll probably be doing another football game next Saturday as Westlake plays Steele next Saturday at 2 p.m., January 2nd, 2 p.m. at Kelly Reeve Stadium. I will be the PA announcer for that one, too. I just keep getting huge games. Skull.
There we go. You must be doing something well other than broadcasting poker.
They love the dulcet tones of Rick Epstein.
So Scotland has joined us in seat 3. Full table once again.
What's up, guys?
King 6-8, 2 hearts, as Sammy has a heart. We all have a heart, but Sammy has a card that's a heart. Bottom pair for Dennis. And Sammy puts out a buck and a squirt. 125.
125.
Putting heat on bottom pair. Dennis doesn't love it, and he folds. So nice play there by Sammy. Queen high. Steps up his game a little bit there and takes down a nice one. So, just coming down to the wire on the stream tonight. Let's see if we can go out with a bang. See a little bloodshed. Definitely a couple nice and entertaining hands tonight.
Frank will put the cards in the air for another hand here. Go to the flop. Jack 10 deuce rainbow. Looks like this is a bomb pot, is it not?
Yes.
Believe it was. Scotland in seat 3. What a delightful gentleman he is. Talks a little funny. I'm just kidding. He's from Scotland. He has great accent.
Wakes up with jacks and spikes top set on the bomber. So size night getting even more and more brutal as he walks away from the table and would have had a monster.
But I don't know if anybody's going to...
Sammy's got top 2.
Sammy's got top 2.
But this is where Sammy gets stacked.
Oh, my goodness.
And now it's boat over
boat. Over boat.
So Roger, on his first or second hand, has the absolute stone cold nutter butters. Obviously, there's quad 10s out there.
Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable. Sammy thinking about, the Mirage.
He's thinking about the Mirage.
The Mirage. He's from the East Coast, maybe thinking about a trip to Atlantic City where, they turn, there was an aces, the sand turns into gold.
He does the old shake of the head.
Oh, the double. Oh, a little Hollywood for the man, thinking he's like, okay, I guess I'll call. Putting on a show for all of his buddies. I know he's got a lot of buddies watching in the stream, but my goodness, turn it away. If you were in Camp Sammy, turn your heads, maybe go to the bathroom, wash your hands, maybe grab a little cookie, because this is absolutely brutal, and he will be losing every last one of his chippies.
Another 120, and here comes the raise from Sammy.
Here comes the shove that will get insta-snapped by Roger and an absolute stone-cold cooler on the bomber.
He checks his cards again.
Somebody
You know the race is coming.
Somebody get this guy, you know, an acting job with DiCaprio. Somebody's got to call Scorsese. This man
Sammy
doing
is going to
an
say,
excellent job working himself for the Oscar here. But this is poker. This is the lodge. This is live stream and coolers galore. Just as we asked for going out with a bang, we've got one.
what, he's going to leave
He's gonna
himself
give
with $120?
A little squirt behind, and a quick jam from Roger, Scotland's finest, and bye-bye Sammy's chips.
Oh, my goodness.
Gross. And
Sammy.
sees the bad news. The man is absolutely crushed.
Oh,
Brutal.
I'm sick. I feel so terrible. I mean, Roger has sat down for 6 minutes and just took home.
Yeah, nice little 1.5K or so. You know, he's got about 1,000 worth of Sammy's chips, plus everybody's antes. And Cy, my man Cy, as you watch this back, maybe, you know, tomorrow or the next day, or if you were driving home on 35 watching this right now, my apologies, sir. I feel for you. You just stepped out of the golden seat, and Roger has scalped our boy Sammy from MGM,
Oh, my goodness.
the Harbor, and we need cleanup. We need cleanup
Clean up on aisle
on
9.
table 11. There is blood splatter and juice all over seat 8. It might even be on Jones' clothes right now. We might need to get a new jacket for
I'm
Joe.
just sick, man.
Oh my god.
You both turn a boat,
Oh my god.
and Scotland is just sat down. I mean,
Oh man.
he literally just sat down. Wasn't that his maybe first or second hand?
First or second hand. I mean, we barely got to know the guy here, and then boom, double. And he's loving life.
He's gonna be the overall leader.
This man was telling me, you know, Mike, you know, I've been playing the 5-5 a few times. I really appreciate you having me on, but I just can't seem to run good on the stream. But when the stream goes off, that's when I really strike. You know, I'm not afraid of the stream, but I just win my money after the game. You know, 12-1, 2 a.m. Same players, same game. But I don't want to hear none of that no more, Roger.
I just win my money at the end of the game.
Oh,
That's how he says it.
I think that's your last Scotland impression, Scottish impression that we. Yeah,
That's how he talks.
That's it.
I just win my money at the end of the game. I had a Scotland accent.
You gotta watch more Braveheart. You gotta watch more Braveheart. That's your homework assignment for next week. A little more Braveheart.
Wow. And we've got a lot of people in the chat responding with the throw up emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah, skill ball. That's exactly how I feel. It took a long time for us to get to that point where we saw blood on the carpet, and we saw it. Oh my God! That's what I want to see next. January 9th, right? The cage match. We want to see blood on the carpet.
Chairs to people's faces. Right.
Exactly.
Through the table, choke slam.
We want to see therapy sessions being scheduled.
I think Sammy brought us a couple of viewers. I think along with his blood and skin all over the place, I think we've lost a couple of viewers as Sammy got scalped. R.I.P. Sammy.
Well, here comes a Texas Apache, a bet from Dennis, 300. We don't know what these players are holding right now, but this is a brewing right now.
This is another match that we've seen throughout the stream. We had the Tony versus Cy, multiple hands, heads up, and then it's been Apache versus Dennis. So, you know, seat 1 versus seat 4.
Apache's been playing really well tonight, even in hands that he's lost. He's made some great bets.
He is putting Dennis all in pretty much here. This looks to be a raise to 800 or 1,000. I believe it is 800. So both these players with a mystery hand, we're not quite sure what they're holding here.
Raised to 600, so it's 300 more to call.
Min click raise, usually pretty strong, especially on this board. So Apache definitely has a king or better. I'd say so. Obviously, he could be really applying max heat on Dennis, but I believe Apache here is pretty strong, and he gets it done. So Dennis folds. Dennis having a little rough go.
Apache is just making all the right moves tonight.
Apache heating up for sure. Playing well, playing pretty aggressive type poker. Apache and Big Tony are two big winners of the night. So Phil in the chat asking about Cy. I mean, calm down, Phil. If you were paying attention and you were here for the whole stream, you would know what have happened to Cy instead of asking silly questions, sir. But your boy Cy got into a couple big hands with Big Tony and came out on the losing end. Did not get fully scalped.
No, but
he's down a couple hundies.
I think he just realized he was about ready. He was about 2 hands from going on tilt. So he left pre-tilt.
Yep, pre-tilt, exactly. He was getting, the table was tilting a little bit towards Tony's end. Lost a couple consecutive hands and elected to rack up and leave about 30 minutes or so prior to the stream ending. And then our boy Roger, as you see in C3, his first hand in Cy's old seat, flops top set, and his opponent has top 2 pair, and they both bowed up. And Cy would have won a nice big pot. So pretty unfortunate, unlucky night for Cy. Roger's not complaining. And we're on to the next. Now you're all caught up just for you, Phil. Hope you feel special. Now pay attention next time.
Ace, King, 4, 2 spades, and middle pair for Apache.
No excuses. Play like a champion. I had to leave. Nobody cares, Phil. Play like a champion.
And Sammy has left the table. There's a queen.
So we have a gut shot royal draw, and the flush does get there. But unfortunately for Apache, not much for Kazim. And we win a tiny, tiny pot there in Apache Town. Poor Sammy indeed. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal, James. As you saw and witnessed, we all witnessed it. And especially the acting job that the man put forward.
It
was top notch.
It was top notch.
It was top notch. And then you just saw the man's soul and spirit just fall to the floor through the carpet. And he might never be seen again here at the Lodge. Hopefully he rebounds, bounces back, and joins us maybe next week. We'll definitely give Sammy another go if he wants to get back in on the action. But I'm not sure he's a local Austinite, so we'll have to wait and see if we see Sammy again. But if he wants more, he knows where to find it.
$15 straddle from Big Tony. Sasha will fold over to Joan. Joan looks at her cards and throws them down. Over to Apache, who's been red hot, on fire. He's going to call. Ken looks like he might be raising. He does.
Rightfully so with the Jiggity's late position. He's going to juice it up to 90.
Big Tony goes out. Back to Apache now.
Kazim set mining with the 4s makes the call. So will it be heads up or shall we go 3-way? Only Texas Apache will know. And we're going to go heads up. Kazim versus Ken. I know Kazim likes playing pots with Ken. Jack
6-9-3. 2 hearts. Both players with a heart. $100 from Ken. Quick call from Kazim. There's the turn. The 9.
That's probably going to slow down the action. I imagine this goes check after Kazim's snap call. That might slow down Ken. Let's see what Ken likes to do.
Ken says, I want to find out where I'm at right now.
So the action was $100 and $100 on the flop. Now Kazim checks again. And it does slow down Ken. So Ken a little bit worried about that 9. Let's see what Kazim elects to do now.
An 8.
Might still believe in his 4s for showdown value, and he does. But the 4s are no good. 2 pair for Ken. And Ken's going to scoop in another one.
We'll go to the next pot.
So Ken electing for a little bit of pot control there on the turn.
We got about 5 or so minutes left on the live stream. Come on out and visit us. Do yourself a favor. We'd love to have you. The Lodge Poker Club open 24 hours a day. Multiple tournaments each and every day. Cash games going crazy right now on a Saturday
Joe,
night.
As you see our boy Joe taking seat 8. So Sammy's funeral is over. Poor one out for Sammy in seat 8. And now Joe, Chicago Joe, LA Joe, Blue Gloves Joe.
Gucci, double Gucci bag Joe.
Joining us. 5 minutes left in the stream. Let's see if he can be the fortunate one to have, top boat sitting in on his first or second hand. Chances are slim, but anything is possible here at the featured table, Lodge Poker Club, Round Rock, Texas.
There's Roger coming on strong, the Scottish bagpipe man. Guy finally got Mike to crack up. It took 21 episodes. Mike has lost it. He is derailed.
I'm just actually laughing because I'm just thinking, imagining what Cy could have the Cowboys, and Cy's probably just, hopefully his car is in one piece on 35 driving back down south as Roger keeps picking up the premiums and the goods here. King's still in the lead.
Deuce 7. And Big Tony might be in trouble here. He thinks he might be good. $100 from Cy. Big Tony with 2 pair. Certainly going to throw in a chip.
And it would have been Tony versus Cy one more time. And Ken going nowhere too. Let's see. Or no, it's on Apache. My apologies. And we don't see Roger's cards here, but we know he's holding pocket king, so keep that in mind. We're going to go heads up. Roger and Tony. This car will not be slowing down.
Tennis clubs. Scotland is reaching for chips.
It's funny. Rogers probably had pocket kings, close to 7 or 8 times today. When I was playing for about an hour pre-stream, I was at a 2-5 table with Roger, and he had pocket kings like 4 times in 2 orbits.
Ugh.
So I've seen Roger have pocket kings multiple times today, running good.
Roger going to be checked over to him. Kings and
Still going
deuces.
nowhere. So let's see what Roger comes with, because Tony's been calling, still believing in his 7s here. And what does he come with? It looks like 500 and 575.
Good bet.
I like that bet here. Let's see if Tony can get away. Very nice bet for Roger. And Tony does get away, so good on Tony for saving himself an extra
My
575.
goodness. And Roger is just in fuego right now.
Cy,
One
keep
another.
two hands on the wheel, Cy. Keep your eyes on the road, Cy. Breathe. Breathe.
There's your chip count. Ken 6,800. Texas Apache 5,500. Kazim 5,100. Roger with 4K. There's your VPIP stats. Pre-flop razors.
Looks like we're going to be winding down here, so that might have been our last hand of the night as we approach 11 o'clock.
And we'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the 5-5 Uncapped live stream. For Mike the Skull Reisman, my name is Rick Epstein. We'll see you next week on Poker Night at the Lodge.
We're done with the recording. Just 30 minutes left on the delay.
Okay.
Good job. Thanks, everybody.
We're done?
Well, I mean, it's still 30 minutes on the YouTube.
Yeah, you can take it. No, but the stream is done at 11.
They're done recording?
I know, but I thought they stopped recording at
7:30 to 3 hours.
The stream will be done at 11. The stream is just going to catch up on the last 30 minutes.
Joe, so yeah, I'm ready to, I can deal for another one if you want me to.
Hold on, are we changing tables now?
We don't have to. I don't know.
I think we are soon. Right now.
We're not moving tables right now, right?
No, not that I'm
We don't need to use the RFID scanner.
No, you do not.
Alright. Cameras off. Let's play some poker.
You're out.
I don't know what that is. It's been going on.
Thanks for playing with us, Ken. One seat here now, table 11.
Pretty sure that's what he meant.
No more of Robin.
Yeah, you can just look Yes, sir.
I'm not any of those things.
Oh, we are moving after this time?
Yeah. No, you just cussed.
Are we moving?
I waited till you got settled. I saw that.
Where are we moving?
Right next door. I saw that. Me. Same seat, same everything.
What?
Yep.
So same seat.
Just right over there.
Because the RFID table where...
Yeah, right
I just don't want to interrupt that. Please still in the hands. Get you started at least. Thank you, Joe. You're welcome. We'll just 3 minutes ready.
Right? I think you're the big winner, bro.
What?
I think you're the big winner.
This is the big winner right here. I think you bought it less. Huh?
I think you bought your record.
No. Yes, sir. Ken, how much you bought it for? 5. Oh, you bought it for 5? Oh, wow.
Coming back for the strength away. I just took it all off.
One, oh
Everything
man.
in. Boom, we got to move.
Cool, police to police.
It's been a while. Yeah. Glad to see you.
I'd say 2 bucks. These chairs are nice, right?
How much were you?
I folded.
I mean, nothing will stop you from. You'll take it.
I missed out on the King versus Ted, but it scared me like flat calling. And I saw him flat call with